U.S. will hold a round of talks in Washington. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Xtra, only on Xtra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los here on Xtra 106.3, the Morning Xtra. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Xtra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Welcoming you to the show, and hope you'll spend as much time with us as you possibly can. Maybe you're a 4-hour club member. I don't know, but if you are, we're grateful. If you're not, do better. That's. I mean, you got to put your best foot forward, Los.
Well, you're not going to make a sale unless you ask for the sale, right?
That's exactly right.
You better do it, or else.
Yeah. So I'm just asking you to join us for as long as you possibly can, and anything less than 4 hours is probably unacceptable. We're not going to kick you out necessarily. We're just going to ask you to do better. And
We're going to kick you out,
Bryce. I'm not going to allow Bryce to do that, but.
He's very stern.
He is.
Bryce.
Did you
He's
hear?
very demanding.
Did you hear the forcefulness in his voice? I mean,
yeah.
He was projecting there is what he was doing, making it sound very low rumble, very male, masculine, that what people understood.
Kick you out.
There was an underlying threat in his voice.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So anyway, well, it's early on Tuesday morning. I do have a little bit of bad news. If you came for Neil Bortz, he will not be here today. He's a bit under the weather. Said
car accident?
No, that's why I wondered the same thing. He didn't say. He just said he was going to the. He said the grumpy doctor, but I assume he meant the gummy doctor. I don't know that for sure. That's just what I think from the email.
I mean, sometimes you got to read in between the lines with Neil.
Yeah.
So
right.
Okay, hopefully tomorrow then.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be back in there. So we'll shuffle some things around and talk about some things that wouldn't have made the show if Neil was here. So we're just going to straighten it all out for you, and do good with it. Braves last night. I went to bed when it was 6-3, and it was a good thing. I didn't miss a whole lot because they lost 10-6.
You know why that I know it was 10-4?
10-4. That's it.
Because I got home a little bit after 10 o'clock. I left my home yesterday afternoon to go get in the car line. This is single dad several days, right?
Yep.
Wife is in Arizona. I'm having to manage both ends of all the stuff we do. I left the house at 3 o'clock to go get in car line so I could get a prime spot. I walked back in the door at 10:05.
Shoo, boy, that's a day there.
Yeah. Now, the good part, I got the draft guide done.
Oh, wow.
I got to finish putting that thing together, and hopefully I can publish it today. That's the goal. That's the hope.
Well, so for anybody that don't know, Los does an NFL draft guide every year for our sister station, The Fan. Just the best picks in the NFL draft and who you think that the teams are going with, right? I
basically build my top 50 board, which is what I'm trying to finish up today. But every profile, I went through about 70 players this year to get to my top 50. Because if I try any more than that, or because people have been like, why don't you build like a top 100? Well, I don't want to get divorced.
Yeah. How about you build a top 100, pal?
How about you watch this many players? See how much your wife likes it. As I basically just go into the bunker for the better part of like 2 months, and just all I do is just rip film and just watch. So that part was good that got done. But now Operation Get Him to the School Bus. It was successful yesterday. Hopefully, let's have back-to-back mornings.
Yeah, see if we can go back-to-back. I love it. Yeah, like Rory. You're trying to be Rory McIlroy.
Trying to go back-to-back, man.
That's right. Get you a coat. Get you a green jacket.
Oh, there's going to be some challenges, but that's it was a very, as I'm flipping the Braves game on and I'm seeing the final in the 9th inning, I was like, ugh. And I probably watched an inning, maybe 2 last night from being so running around.
Yeah, I watched the first few, and then like I said, it was 6-3 when I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna head on to bed, and it was good that I didn't stay up too late because 10-4 was not a good outcome. But yeah, I watched a little bit, and hoping for a better outcome today. We don't want to see them lose the series. We want to keep that little thing going. Does it mean anything? No. But is it fun to say they're the only team in baseball that hadn't lost a series? Yes, it is.
That's the one good note. The only team. They're the final team who hasn't dropped a series.
There you go. So we'll be keeping up with that, and hopefully you will be too down the hall with our sister station, The Fan. 680 and 93.7 FM. As a matter of fact, Baseball Jesus showed up. Like, I got here, I don't know, 5:05 or something, and Baseball Jesus got here at like 5:07.
Chris Domino that early, wow.
What are you doing? He was like, I got to go to Athens.
Yeah, they're going to go interview Kirby Smart.
Is that what that's about? Oh, yeah. I figured it had something to do with UGA being out there, but I wasn't sure who they were talking to or why they were talking to. But that makes sense now. So
yeah, they're getting a chance to do a little bit of work with Kirby Smart. I suggested that they play the Meow game, and
well, explain that.
What are you doing right, Meow?
You're just working in Meow anywhere you can.
Just work it in for the entire interview and see how long it takes.
For him to go, the hell y'all doing?
Excuse me, are you saying meow?
Yeah, right. And then can you imagine at the end because Kirby wouldn't blow it up in the middle of the interview, but later he'd be like, never again. I'm never talking to those fools
Never
again.
Talking to those clowns again.
Ever. So I bet they did not take your advice about the Meow game.
No, they have a different plan. They're going to just take news articles and headlines and just
ask him questions about that.
Just ask him questions about these headlines.
Well, how boring.
I know. That's why I suggested the Meow game.
Yeah, that's right. That's why, I'm with you. I now understand why you suggested it, and I think it should be what they go with.
Right, Meow, you're one of the favorites to win the SEC. Is playing in the SEC championship game that big a deal these days, given the expanded playoff?
Yeah, right. Or should the SEC championship just go away altogether? I couldn't figure out how to get a Meow.
See, that was the problem.
I was trying in my head. I was working ahead, and it just wasn't.
Right, Meow. People have been talking about whether or not the SEC title game should continue to exist.
Right.
Coach, how do you feel your team's been in the spring, right, Meow?
See?
You got it too, dude. I can't. I don't know why. I just won't. I can't make it work.
I think you're caught up in the moment, and you recognize this might be too big for Tug Coward. I don't know if I can say meow to Kirby Smart.
That's right. If it were you or Bryce, I could probably work a meow in. But when it's Kirby Smart, I feel like I need to be respectful.
If we ever have Rick Jackson in, can we please get a meow in?
Yes, 100%. And I was asked yesterday by our ops manager, Scott McFarland. He was like, "Hey, anything out of Rick Jackson?" And so I reached out to his comms guy and said, "Hey, man, everybody's been in. Y'all just launched a huge ad buy, probably more than any other candidate. And everybody's been in except y'all. It seems like you'd come get the free hit. You're paying for airtime.
Everything else.
Why wouldn't you come by and just get the free hit?" And he was like, "I'm working on it. We've been really busy." And I'm like, "Okay, man, all good. Look, I'm not begging you to come in. I don't care. Only reason I'm asking is because my boss asked me. I couldn't care less, if I'm being completely honest."
We extend this to every candidate.
Yeah.
In part because we want to make sure that we're compliant with our license. Once we're into political season, we have to give equal time to anyone who would like to have it. And so it's strange when there's people out there that haven't taken advantage of that.
Yeah, no.
Given that there is not one thing they have to do to pay for it.
Yeah, I just, I couldn't care less. If he comes by, that's great. And if he doesn't, I'm fine with that too. It just doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, listen, I know you want to, part of the reason why you pay for such advertising, and thank you, is that, you don't have to then be everywhere. But it also helps with this audience.
Yeah,
with what they're plugged into. This is your 1%.
Everybody's figured it out except you, buddy.
Who's active. So, all right, have at it.
All right, well, let's get to the first thing to know this morning.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high. Man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
Your dinghy might not work.
Put a boot in your ass, courtesy of the Morning Xtra.
Buddy, I tell you, there's so much to talk about, and we're going to get into the Eric Swalwell thing, but I do want to hit it here just because it seems like the snowball was growing, because yesterday he said, I'm stepping away. I'm not going to run for governor of California, which I believe was the Democrat plan. That's why they let this to happen. You know, they let this shake out the way it did, because they thought he was going to be the thing that prevented two Democrats from being in the top of the ticket, and they were concerned that two Republicans would be there. I guess in California, it's just the two top people in the primary. Doesn't matter the party, doesn't have to be Republican, Democrat, can be two Dems, can be two Republicans. They thought Swalwell was and making that an issue, and that the Democrats wouldn't have those top two spots. Then late last night, we hear that he is stepping down from Congress. He is denying all the charges, denying everything. But there are three women leading the charge of what seems to be several more women that have been taken advantage of, allegedly, by Eric Swalwell, which is the reason that he is stepping down. But they are putting the pressure on him.
Well, he would have thought at this point that, when you step away, okay, that is supposed to bring everything to an end. I mean, this is strictly Game of Thrones politics on the Democrat side.
Yeah.
There is not one thing that we did to get rid of Eric Swalwell. This is strictly about them maintaining the view that they can't have a Republican governor in the state of California. It just screws up the whole idea that California is some sort of Democrat paradise and they've managed it correctly. That is the whole danger of having that happen. And so, again, we didn't have anything to do with it. This is infighting on the Democrat side, Democrats only.
Doesn't it seem like there's a bit of a pattern, Los, that when you see what's going on with Swalwell, everybody knew what was going on. Apparently, Nancy Pelosi is the one that called him up and said, it's time. Your run is done. And this was an open secret, as it's been called in Washington, D.C. and out in California, the fact that he was doing all these things, allegedly, with interns and women that worked with him. And he, from the time he got into state-level politics, had found that this power was nice for putting him in positions to set himself up with ladies, whether they wanted it or not. And so when you see this kind of falling out the way it has, you see the same thing, or we saw the same thing with Joe Biden. And Joe Biden's not accused of anything like Swalwell, but what I mean is that when they were done with him, when he was no longer useful to the Democrat Party, what did they do? They kicked him aside. They knew that he was compromised. They knew that he wasn't cognitively available. He didn't have the cognitive skills to be the president of the United States, but while he served the purpose, Los, it was fine. When he didn't anymore, they kicked him to the curb. Same way with Swalwell. They knew what was going on the entire time, didn't do anything about it until it was going to damage what Democrat politics wanted to do.
Yeah, the big overall picture, the predominant reason outside of the fact that he didn't have a working brain, that Joe Biden was run out, it's because when they did all of their analysis when it came to the polling information and the details that they got, what they looked at is they were going to lose massively down ballot. And that was the danger. That, hey, we're going to lose the House and the Senate, but what if we get creamed at like a 2010 level? In 2010, when the Democrats lost the House and the Senate, across the country, Democrat politicians were put back to a mark basically that from 80 years before. That's how little power they had, and that's what they feared. So getting rid of Joe Biden was about protecting the rest of the down ballot. This is all about power. They know where all the skeletons
Of course.
are buried.
And that's what I mean by the pattern. You know what I mean? When it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you can or can't do. As long as you're serving the purpose, they don't care. They're willing to look aside. They're willing to allow a man that's compromised mentally to be the president as long as he holds the position and it looks a certain way. Soon as that need is gone, he's out. Right? They burned him down. Same thing is happening. And I remember Jake Tapper talking about how this was an open secret in Washington, D.C. with Joe Biden. And now we're hearing this other case with Swalwell, and that is now being called an open secret. Everybody knew about it.
Yeah, everybody knew about it. Okay.
Yeah, why didn't y'all do something then? Why did you wait? Oh, we need him out because it benefits our power structure. So he's got to go.
Now he's got to go.
Yeah, it's just funny the way all that as soon as I saw that last night, I was like, that's exactly what they did to Biden. That's exactly it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, two
no different.
Yeah, the background, what's happening in the story is completely different, but basically when he's used up, he's out. That's we know that is a done deal for sure. The United States is another thing great to know this morning. United States sending tankers through the Gulf of America was all part of the strategy, right? They knew, hey, if we shut this down and nobody can get oil out of the Straits of Hormuz, nobody can get oil from Iran in the Middle East, where might they come instead? Oh, to the Gulf of America. That's where we'll go. It was part of the strategy the whole time. Listen.
U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz in effect for nearly 2 hours now. A ship tracking firm reports 121 empty oil tankers are making their way to the United States of America. 68 of those 121 vessels are very large crude carriers capable of carrying 2 million barrels apiece. President Trump has urged countries squeezed by Iran's disruption of the Strait of Hormuz to turn to American energy supplies instead. Well, it would appear perhaps they are obliging him. They are listening to Trump. The president told Fox, quote, China can send their ships to the U.S., China can send their ships to Venezuela, while also saying that empty oil-carrying ships from many nations are all headed to the U.S. to load up. That from the President of the United States. A lot to follow today.
Boy, that sounds like a good deal for us. I mean, it's like somebody had planned this out. Like, hey, if we squeeze these folks, we can get all their business. What do you think? And it takes a number one sponsor of terrorism out of the equation altogether.
This has just been multi-pronged, and this was going to be the next level. As much as everyone in the leftist media has tried to paint this as like, well, they don't have a plan. Well, the plan's looking like it's working pretty good,
dude. It's way and it's not like hey, we're going to take their nukes. That's the plan, right? That's part of the plan, yes. But this was a huge strategy for it. Looks like a gigantic map of risk is laid out on the table, and they're like, this is how we're going to attack it all together.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're in the situation now where 125 tankers that started, heading this direction, and they're, going to carry all this massive amount of crude oil. Okay. Keep them coming. Yeah. Not only are you getting Iran back to the negotiating table and basically taking away what is your one primary thing you had to threaten the world with? Well, we'll cut off its energy supply. Well, how about we cut off your energy supply? How about we cut off your way of making money? What do you think about that?
How you like them apples?
How do you like them apples?
Dude, it's genius. It's freaking genius. And every day, I feel like I see a new layer of it and go, oh my God, that's even better. It gets even better every time.
It's cranking up the pressure on them. Like, how many more things do you want to lose?
That's right.
Your choice.
We will oblige you. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. Tug and Los until 10. When we come back, we'll knock out headlines. And the reason J.D. Vance was sent to negotiate peace with Iran. There was a specific reason they chose J.D. Next on Extra.
president has drawn a clear line. Law and order must come first, and surrendering to mob pressure just invites more chaos. As these complicated stories unfold, you need the most trusted local and national voices of Xtra 106.3 to make sense of it all. And most importantly, how it affects your family and your community. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra app.
Attention, Antifa, human traffickers, cartels, and woke DAs. With Chris Carr as governor, you won't stand a chance.
I'm Chris Carr. In Georgia, we will prosecute you. It's easy for politicians to talk tough, but I'm the only Republican who put gangs, human traffickers, and Antifa behind bars. I even fought Obama, Biden, and Abrams in court and won. If you're attacking our police or our freedoms, I'll be your worst nightmare.
Chris Carr doesn't just talk tough. Carr had the courage, brought the cases, and locked up the criminals. He has more than 120 gang convictions. Over 200 human trafficking victims have been rescued and seized enough fentanyl to kill 3.5 million Georgians. Carr's taking on the woke left, making crime illegal again. As governor, Chris Carr will keep up the fight and never back down. Chris Carr, governor. Real fights, real wins, real conservative. Paid for by Carr for Georgia.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing. Someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Madelon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
If you're looking for strength, capability, and reliability, it starts with Ford. And it starts at Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs.
From the legendary F-150 to the adventure-ready Bronco to the versatile Explorer, Ford builds vehicles designed to handle real life.
And at Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs, you'll find a great selection in stock, competitive pricing, and a buying process that's fast, fair, and straightforward.
No pressure, no confusion, just a transparent experience focused on helping you find the right vehicle.
You can even get started from home. Shop online, value your trade, schedule a test drive, complete paperwork before you ever step into the showroom.
Or come in and work with a team that respects your time and gets you on the road quickly. That's how buying a Ford should feel.
Get started at Jim Ellis Ford, SandySprings.com or stop by the Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs showroom, conveniently located at 7555 Roswell Road, just 4 miles north of I-285.
Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs, where you can always expect the best.
Just east of Atlanta, there's a place where the game slows down and the good times tee off. Welcome to Cherokee Run Golf Club in Conyers, Georgia. An Arnold Palmer signature course designed in 1995, carved through rolling hills, towering pines, and wide open skies. Cherokee Run brings championship golf together with pure Georgia beauty. From perfectly manicured fairways and newly renovated bunkers to lightning-fast greens, every round feels like a getaway without going far at all. So whether you're chasing a personal best, enjoying a weekend with friends, or just soaking in the scenery, this is golf the way it's meant to be played. And when the round's done, kick back, grab a bite, and relive every great shot in our state-of-the-art clubhouse, Cherokee Run Golf Club. Play legendary. Play relaxed. Play where Georgia golf runs free. Book your tee time today at CherokeeRunGolfClub.com and experience the thrill of playing the run.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now, in-store and online. Staples, that was easy.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, April 14th, and here are your headlines. Eric Swalwell says he will step down from Congress after facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, including claims from several women detailed in recent reports. He says he wanted to avoid distractions from his duties as a bipartisan push to remove him from office was already gaining heavy momentum. A global phishing operation tied to more than $20 million in attempted fraud has been dismantled in a joint investigation involving the FBI and international partners. Officials say the scheme used a tool known as Well to create fake login pages, stealing credentials and bypassing security systems with more than 25,000 compromised finalized accounts being sold. And finally, unseasonably hot weather is expected to continue across metro Atlanta this week, with temperatures possibly hitting in the 90s. Well above the seasonal average of 73 degrees, forecasters are saying that several daily records could be broken, with dry conditions also raising concerns about worsening droughts across the region. Today's weather is lots of sunshine with a high of 87 and a low of 58. The Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
We've always said America is very good at one specific thing. Los called it. He said, we're really good at blowing ass up.
Yeah, we are.
And he's exactly
We're elite.
right. We are elite level. Nobody compares that I can tell as we count down toward the blockade of the Gulf of Oman into the Straits of Hormuz and how that'll affect the economy of many countries, but specifically Iran. That's the most important thing. But I ran across this on BuzzFeed, dude. It's weird that they were pointing out the things that America does well. It didn't have the thing that you said, blowing us up.
Well.
It didn't have that. So it's kind of a
blow
null
the
and
entire article off.
Exactly. It's kind of null and void. But I was just surprised that it had a bunch of positive stuff. When have you ever been to like a Reddit or a BuzzFeed or any of that stuff that was ever positive?
Yeah, that's not really their thing.
Especially about America, man. They're always bringing us down. Like, I'll give you just a couple because I think it's kind of funny. This one says, as an American living in Europe, Americans do breakfast better than Europeans. National parks and local parks. The public library system. Theme parks. This one's good. The person said, in my country, we have one theme park. It's got one roller coaster. It's so lame. So charity. They bring in charity, and the fact that the United States and Americans as a whole donate more money than any other nation, and it's not even close.
Let me help this nerd here, this bookworm. There are three things I can tell you right on the top of my head. Now, number one, blowing S up.
Yeah.
Okay? That's first and foremost. After that, it's football, boobs, and twins. Those are the next three.
Would beer not make an appearance? I feel like beer should
it's
be.
right in there. Goes right in there with football and boobs and twins.
Brown liquor. I mean, I feel like that rounds out the top five right there. I feel like we're in pretty good shape.
Oh, we have a great library system.
That's what it says. I swear, dude. I swear. I'm going to text this thing to you.
No, we do football and boobs.
That's right. That's
and blow stuff up.
That is the important stuff. Like, that's the man stuff. Like that article. This article has to be written by. I'm gonna text it to you. That way you can gander at it a little later. 32 things the United States does better than other countries. I was born in Europe and moved to the United States as a teenager, and then it goes through the list. I found it fascinating because the first thing I thought was, this 32 thing, the number one thing is going to be blow crap up. And it's not even on the list. What a waste. Look, what a miss. What a swing and a miss.
I'm going to bomb the out of them.
See what I mean?
I mean, we invent. Tug, remember when we were kids, and that was the first time we had ever heard of laser-guided bombs.
Yeah.
Okay, where it's like you lace the target, here's what happens. And now our technology has gone even beyond that. We invent new ways to blow stuff up.
The discombobulator. Those gigantic lasers that used to be on the back of the truck.
Have you bled from your butt today?
Yeah, that's right.
The discombobulator will do this.
Because America can help you. we can fix it if you've not. We will do it. The one thing on the list that does make it, and I think it's important, especially since we live in the South, the only thing on the entire list that I think is deserved to be there is air conditioning. Since we created that.
Yeah.
And we live in the South. So, dude got one right out of 32. One, but
legit. Okay, good call, sir.
That's why. But he's European, so that's the reason he got all this wrong. He has no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything about football. He's talking about soccer or something. Damn, I got time for soccer. We got football season, sir. Hell's wrong with you?
In 2022, 4,500 or more died in the UK from a lack of air conditioning.
Say that again?
In 2022, between 2,000 and it's on average between 2,000 and 4,500 per year in the UK die because of air conditioning issues.
Dude, that sucks.
Man, we put in like 1,000 fakers a day.
Dude, I'm telling you. And then,
come on.
Yeah, right. And then on top of that, they tried to go down that route of net zero. So now they don't even if they have air conditioning, they're going to have energy to turn it on. Dude, how bad would that suck? Would it be sitting there right next to the house, just ready to flip the switch, but you don't got the power to use it?
I got this thrown in my face all weekend long. I was trying to watch, my regular Hulu, and they're pimping new stuff at me, and I get it. That's fine, but The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Okay,
What?
First off, it's Rhode Island.
Yeah.
The next thing I would say is this: all of them have fakers. And they all look good. Okay. Something else we do well.
They're all standing up and saluting. It's amazing.
That's right.
they weren't saluting anything in particular. Oh yeah, they were. They were the return of Artemis. That's why those girls were
Good
standing
for
up,
you, ladies.
standing up and
Nice
saluting
work.
the way that they were. Oh Lord, I love it. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. If you can think of things that we also do, maybe we've left something out other than blowing us up. That
Waffle
we've left,
House.
Yeah, Waffle House. That's exceptional. Good choice there. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. All right, here's the reason J.D. Vance, in case you hadn't thought about this, it's the reason J.D. Vance was sent to the negotiating table with the Iranians. He was against the strike to begin with. It's been well established. It's been well documented. But like any good Marine, when his commander-in-chief says it's go time, dropping bombs or whatever, he goes and does it. Or if he needs to go negotiate, that good Marine posts up and he follows orders. Next, and more importantly, like I said, JD against the war, so he's got an incentive. Like he wants this war to come to an end because it's not something that he thought we should do, which I respect. I'm fine with having a difference of opinion. In our party, on our side, we can tolerate that. I know the left and Democrats don't. We do. And we learned that, Los. Most importantly, we learned it during the Signal chat when they were talking about bombing the Houthis. And he said, I don't think we should do this. Let's let the Europeans handle this. This is their backyard. I appreciate his point of view. But because him being a good Marine, Trump said this is what we're going to do, and that's what he's doing. You've not seen any pushback because Marines don't push back. They get the job done and then debate it afterwards. I think that's so good. I think it's so important that J.D. Vance was a part of this for this reason alone, Los.
Well, and I think this is important too, Tug. You sent J.D. Vance because he has a history of not wanting us to be involved in any of these conflicts, including this one.
Yep.
And so you're able, if you're going to send anybody, like don't send a warmonger to go and negotiate.
Right, exactly, because they're not going to accomplish anything.
No, go send the guy who wants peace. And the fact that they were not able to get a deal done, I think says a lot to the rest of the world.
Of
that
course
J.D. Vance, the guy who has no interest in this stuff, is like, they're nuts.
Yeah. When the guy who's against it goes and negotiates, and he's going to be able to and have the most incentive to get the deal done. But most importantly, when he saw those negotiations failed, it's all documented for the world to see. To your point, the world now sees the guy that didn't want to do it, and everybody knows, went there, tried to get a deal, and the Iranians were too dumb to get the deal done. They were too bullheaded to get the deal done. And it shows you that they want a nuclear weapon. That's been their goal from the get-go. They even brought it up again this time. During negotiations, they said you can have as much fuel to power nuclear reactors that will provide energy for your country as much as you want, free. You don't even have to take it from the United States. We will allow China, Russia, whomever you want to get it from, to supply you all that as long as we can monitor it. And they said no.
I don't know how you deal with a mentality outside of just bombing them over and over again until you get somebody who is not as fervent of bringing on the 12th Imam.
Yeah. Well,
because they firmly believe that if they bring on global catastrophe, that is when the Quran will be fulfilled. Their dumb little book tells them the 12th Imam is going to show up and they'll bring justice to the world after it's already chaotic and it's on fire.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is the changes that are being made in the Gulf and in the Middle East overall are going to be extraordinary. I mean, you're seeing that these states that have never recognized Israel and even their ability to live, survive, be an actual country, that is changing in front of our eyes. They're going to, I would put my money on, they will develop formal relationships with Israel when this is done. When all of this is over, you're going to see the Abraham Accords be expanded. You're going to see countries that have never even considered saying Israel has the right to exist saying just that, all because Iran, still to this moment, they're still shooting, over the weekend, we're still shooting into the Gulf states, still shooting into Israel. And now the Gulf states, led by Saudi Arabia, are going to be like, no. We don't want to live in the Stone Ages. We don't want to live the way y'all are living right now. We would prefer to have a wealthy country that raises the standard of living for every one of our citizens, which will in turn be happy to live in our country.
I mean, just imagine, Tug, the reason why they keep firing at everyone is in the idea of escalating so that they bring forth their own apocalypse that they have been celebrating for the better part of 50 years. That once it happens, that's when their version of Jesus is going to be back.
Yeah, and not all Arabs are Muslim, and so that's another thing that gets left out, right? Is that some of these Arab states they don't believe the same things that the Iranians believe. So that's another reason for them to go, wait. You're trying to blow up the entire world for this crazy belief that you have that your guy's coming out of the whale. What is it again? And so they have even more reason, even more incentive, Los, to not fall for this, to not be a part of it.
No, it just when you start doing the whole math on it, it makes a whole lot of sense why the rest of the region looks at them and says they can't have a nuclear weapon because this is what they believe.
Yeah, and then they made a really big mistake. The Iranians made a major mistake. I want you to hear this news report. And it is the mistake that the Iranians didn't see coming because Donald Trump is in the office of the president and not some other.
But I can tell you that regional sources say the Iranians made a major mistake at the negotiating table. They believed that the United States would fold. And obviously, the Trump administration went in with very clear objectives. And the Iranians were unwilling to meet those objectives, namely their nuclear program and getting rid of that enriched uranium. This is a key component to build a nuclear bomb. And regional sources and sources in the U.S. have been very clear. If you allow Iran to keep the enriched uranium and the facilities that allow them to create enriched uranium, they will continue to try and create a nuclear bomb, and everything would go back to square one. And so that's exactly what the president is trying to avoid here. He gave the Iranians a chance at the negotiating table to make a good faith deal and get rid of that enriched uranium and to open the Strait of Hormuz as they are supposed to do as it relates to international law, and they've been unwilling to do both of those things. And that is why at this very moment the region is once again on the brink of military conflict because Iran is unwilling to make a fair diplomatic deal.
They made the mistake of saying, they're bluffing.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't bluffing. Donald Trump ain't bluffing. The United States is not bluffing. And Iran made a major miscalculation by thinking they were. Now, they've already wiped them pretty much. Like 90% of the country is in shambles. As far as military installations, anything that might cause a fight between or give them the ability to fight back against the United States. Most of that is blown up. Now you're going to completely squeeze them economically. And then at that point, Los, the cards are going to start folding quick.
I would like to imagine, Tug, that if this was playing out in a similar fashion in my home, this would be like me going to my 15-year-old and saying, "You're grounded." And then her saying, "No, you're grounded."
That's right.
Okay. She does not have the ability to do that.
That's right. It's not the way it works, sweetheart.
It's not the way it works. In our case, in the United States case, that's exactly how it works. Where the Iranians were like, "Well, we'll close the strait." Like, "Well, we'll help you."
Yeah, we'll do it ahead of you.
Why don't we take care of that for you? Hold on. What do you mean?
Yeah.
No. We're closing it. Even to you.
Well, yeah, right. Actually, only to you, because we're going to let people come through. We're going to check in with the other ships. If they're headed to UAE or Bahrain or Kuwait or wherever, they're going to be free flowing. They can get in and out, no problem. It's just you.
Yeah.
That
do you have a problem with that?
Yeah. Please.
I don't think you can do anything about it.
Do something about it. If you have a problem with it, do something about it. We'll wait. Except for they'll make phone calls to Navy ships. We're going to do something. And the Navy ship's like, "Okay, have at it, man. We're ready for you. We got Sea Whiz loaded. We got drones ready to launch. We got anything we need to take care of the situation, and we will." Matter of fact, they turned away a couple of those cargo ships. They had branded themselves, hoisted a flag that was not their own, and the Navy was like, I know, you're not coming through, which was awesome to see. 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we continue, they scream separation of church and state unless their politics align, and then it's fine. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, April 14th. The Atlanta Braves dropped the opening game of their 3-game series to the Miami Marlins last night. 10-4 the final. Game 2 goes down tonight from Truist Park. It'll be Ronaldo Lopez returning to the mound. He'll be opposed by Max Meyer. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and the Fan app. On the injury front, Brave starter Spencer Strider will make his first rehab start on Thursday this week. The team does plan for him to make perhaps 3 starts and bring him back early next month as he returns from an oblique injury. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey, it's Tug. Notice that today's going to be about 82, 83 degrees. See where we're trending? We may be toward the warm season. I don't know that we have any cold snaps left in us. So don't wait till the first really hot day to have central heating and air conditioning out to your home. Chuck and his team can get out there and do an AC tune-up. You'll be ahead of everybody else. You'll lower your utility bills before the summer. That way you can live affordably all summer long. And if there's any issue that's there, they can catch it while they're at your house doing the maintenance and get it fixed before it becomes too expensive. We're just around the corner from the first 85-degree day. Have we had that yet? I don't think so. I know today going up to 82, at least that's what my watch says. That when it's really hot, when it's like 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90 degrees, maybe north of that's not the day to find out your air conditioner isn't working well. Schedule the maintenance today with Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
You and your buddy. You've been through a lot with each other. The ups and the downs. He's been with you every morning, noon, and night. You've traveled the world together. Heck, he was even with you on your first big date. But have you noticed he's struggling lately? Not performing on the job. He can't even stand up straight anymore. He's wanting to cry out for help, but just doesn't know how. He needs Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can give him the gift of good posture this year, help him stand proud and become all he was meant to be. Now, take him by the hand, look him in the eye and say, I appreciate you, little fella, and we're going to get you some help. We're going to call 404-777-1911. We're going to visit tbtofga.com. We are going to say goodbye to erectile dysfunction forever. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. It's a hard conversation to have, but it's one worth having. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Online at tbtofga.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Retirement should feel exciting, not stressful. But if you're close to retirement or already there, have you ever stopped to ask, do I really understand the risks to my plan? Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Things like market swings, higher taxes, inflation, healthcare costs, even living longer than expected can slowly chip away at your savings if you're not prepared. And even solid plans can have blind spots. That's why we offer a retirement risk analysis. It looks at how your investments, income, and taxes could hold up in real-life situations, not just on paper. It helps answer the big questions. What happens if the market drops? And will your money last as long as you do? If you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, give us a call, 678-990-8500, or visit nicholaswealth.com to schedule a complimentary retirement risk analysis. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you retire with clarity, confidence, and control.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
Looking for affordable family fun in Atlanta? April 24th through 26th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic presented by Venture is the perfect day out. And kids 15 and under get in free with a ticketed adult. Watch golf legends compete at TBC Sugarloaf, enjoy great food, and experience fun for all ages. Make memories together while supporting local charities. Get your tickets today at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. That's MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. April 24th through 26th at TBC Sugarloaf.
Attention, extra listeners. Tax season is here. Do you have a retirement tax strategy in place? Because tax planning for retirement is not just about reporting your taxes, it's about planning them. We work with you to create an efficient tax plan to take you through the next stage of life, the next 10 years, 20, 30, and beyond. We'll help keep the golden years golden. Our fiduciary team provides personalized guidance to keep your financial future secure. Don't wait. Plan now for peace of mind. Schedule your complimentary consultation today at masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
And they're still talking about impeaching Donald Trump. And again, if we lose the House, they will impeach him. The first thing they'll do is impeach him. They'll lose, but they will impeach Donald Trump again.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Thank you for being here. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Tug and Los until 10. When I was growing up, I didn't know anybody that was Catholic. So I don't know a lot about Catholicism. When I was in the Navy, I went to the Vatican, saw Pope John Paul II give a blessing to the crowd, thought it was very cool. But that's the extent of my knowledge. I know very, very little. And not being Catholic, I don't pay attention to what the Pope says very often, or the people in the Catholic Church. And that's not to slight them. I don't know about it. It's not the faith that I follow, right? We're connected. We both believe in Jesus. But when it comes down to having an actual Pope, that's just not anything that I take part in. But when I see a Pope talking about not being a politician, but then dabbling in politics, it does kind of throw up my radar a little bit, Los.
Yeah, that's been happening. To know when there was a American Pope selected, and then the whole discussion was, oh man, this guy's a fan of baseball, and look what he's into.
Cool. So relatable.
There was something strange where I'm like, and maybe he's a Chicago politician.
Could be.
To see him get involved. Now, it's one thing when you have a pope who talks about peace around the world.
Yeah.
And that's
down
consistent.
With that. Yeah, sure.
It's always going to be consistent. But to have a pope that was talking about, for instance, open borders at one point, when you have a pope where you're suddenly not as, I would say, restrictive hard line on some of the sexual topics in terms of transsexuality and everything else like that. Yeah. I think that is where you now have a pope who has met with David Axelrod, and then a week after meeting with David Axelrod suddenly he's very public against going everything against this administration, which the administration was going to go ahead and fire back at the Pope, because I believe this is probably in my lifetime the most a Pope has been political in probably the last, 200 years? 300 years?
Somewhere in there. I don't keep up enough with the Pope to know, but this is the one that is getting the most headlines without a doubt. And what Todd Starnes said when he wrote about it, he said, I don't believe in coincidences that you meet with Axelrod and then 3 days later you have 3 cardinals appear on 60 Minutes attacking the president.
Yes.
I don't believe in coincidences, and nor do I. I thought that was well put by Todd Starnes.
I lived through 2020 and 2021.
Exactly. No,
I don't have time for your coincidences. No, it's all part of a plan.
Yeah, that's right. No, and I feel like it's becoming more and more like that, right? If you see it and you go, that's odd, there may be a reason behind it. There may be some coordination behind it. And that's certainly what it feels like with this. And I would throw this out there, too. I know the Catholic Charities are heavily involved in the immigration, obviously, illegal immigration. So there's money involved, there's politics involved. It just doesn't smell good, Los.
No, and that's the issue that I think when we start talking about, once the Pope is political, everything's political.
So
and now you get something like Catholic Charities, which I think until we had a wide open border, we would have never looked at as being, they're political. It's like, no, they're there to help the sick, the poor.
The downtrodden.
Well, no, they're also there to give you pamphlets and tell you how to get into the country.
Yeah, right. Illegally. They're like, here's what you say. Here's what you do. We learned about that, and that doesn't feel right. And
no.
And we'll talk about it later in the show. When Marco Rubio said, let's route money directly to the people that we're giving it to, not using NGOs. I think that was a shot at that kind of this whole Catholic Charities thing too. I think he realizes and recognizes that.
Yeah, I think that they've been able to track this money and to know not only just how dirty it gets. Like think about what the administration has done. The administration has suggested at one point, hey, with your Obamacare dollars, let's send it right to the people. And what happened? That issue died pretty quick on the vine because the amount of the power brokers, the insurance companies that were like, you won't get another dime from any one of us that we're not getting our taste, to use a gang term.
There you go.
Like it's got to go through us before it goes to the people, so we get our taste. Well, wait a minute. Why would we do that? Why don't we cut out the middleman? Because the middleman is where the fraud is happening.
That's right, and we need the middleman.
And I don't care if it's a Catholic church or a Catholic group or if it's an insurance company. The middleman is where the fraud happens.
We will use it to our advantage for sure. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, the USCCB, and Catholic Charities received over $2.3 billion in federal funding during the Biden administration for migrant and refugee services. And we know refugee, and especially those people claiming asylum, 90% of those asylum claims are false. And we know that. So those grants from HHS, those refugee resettlements, the FEMA shelter and service programs, all of that stuff was looped into that $2.3 billion.
Yep.
Just seems like money corrupts all. And I've seen, look, I remember growing up and there being churches that fell apart because of stuff like this, money and all the other political things going on around the church. And that wasn't Catholic. That was an old Baptist church, that you grew up around, and you see that, and it's very sad. But you just have to, unfortunately, you have to step back and be like, hey, who am I dealing with? Even though they say they're faith-based, they're a Christian organization, doesn't mean they're doing the right thing. And the answer is not always yes.
Yeah, how is the money being put to work?
That's right. Yep. And hopefully this will open some eyes. Because, dude, even at my own church, there are things that said occasionally, and look, I'm not there to turn any tables over necessarily, but there's occasionally
there's a history there.
Yeah, right. Yes, you picked up what I was putting down. But there are those moments where I think, even the church that I go to is doing the right thing, but there will be a assistant pastor or associate pastor, and they'll say something, leading into a time of prayer, time discussion, and it'll throw up my ear, and I pay attention to see if I see a pattern, and so far I've not, which is good. And there are going to be associate pastors that disagree with me, and I disagree with them, and I'm fine with that. But when you start seeing the pattern of things happening, kind of like we had with the Catholic Charities, it makes you go, all right, I know what I'm up against.
Wow.
I know what I'm up against. And there's politics at play.
Being Catholic, I feel like you don't hear a lot of people, at least, and maybe I'm just not as connected, but I feel like you don't hear as many people that are like, at least in the congregation, that feel the same way as the higher ups do about that kind of stuff.
So you're saying that the flock doesn't feel necessarily just like the leadership of the church? Okay.
So there's a lot of differing opinions. It's not,
and I think that's every church, though. To be honest, I think that's. And I'm not a Catholic, so I couldn't speak for the Catholic Church. I only look at it from an outsider looking in, but I think that probably applies to a lot of different places, a lot of different churches, especially when there's politics involved, and that sucks that there ever is.
It gets really sticky whenever there's politics.
Yeah, which is why Lo said that once the Pope is politicized, everything's politicized.
We're all going to hell over this one.
Oh, my heavens. I hope not.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
Not actually.
Right, there we go. Woo! Loesch. Man, my heart skipped a beat there for a second.
Breaking news.
I was like, oh,
coward.
Lord.
Oh, no.
I feel like my heart's in the right place. The naval blockade was one of the final steps, but there is one more that must be taken when it comes to the Straits and it comes to the war in Iran. Next on Extra 106.3. Thank you for being here.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Senior software engineer positions offered by Warner Media Services, LLC in Atlanta, Georgia. Provision, operate, and manage distributed application systems on the AWS platform. Position reports to Atlanta, Georgia office. Telecommuting permitted in accordance with company policy, but must live within commuting distance of stated office. Please submit resume to wbdi@wbd.com. Reference job ID 9662918.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, Extra 106.3 FM.
Soon
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Vice President Vance, who led negotiations over the weekend, tells Fox.
Whether we ultimately get to a deal, I really think the ball is in the Iranian court because we put a lot on the table.
Reports indicate a second round of talks could take place as early as this week between the United States and Iran. The issue of uranium enrichment remains a sticking point in these conversations.
With the U.S. insisting Iran agreed to not try to build nuclear weapons. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv is also monitoring the U.S. blockade of Iran's ports in the Strait of Hormuz, now on day 2.
So far, no major incidents have been reported, but a few vessels have turned back after the blockade went into effect.
There are talks today in Washington between the ambassadors to Israel and Lebanon, brokered by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The U.S. and Israel insist Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire as the Israeli military keeps attacking Hezbollah militants backed by Iran. The House returns from a 2-week break today, and 2 congressmen are resigning in scandal. Democrat Eric Swalwell and Republican Tony Gonzalez.
Swalwell faces allegations of sexual assault and sexual misconduct from several women, including a former staffer. And the House Ethics Committee announced it is launching an investigation. Congressman Tony Gonzalez says he'll leave Congress early. The third-term Republican lawmaker is accused of having a coercive sexual relationship with a staff member who later killed herself. The House Ethics Committee formally launched an investigation into Gonzalez last month.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. An American arrested in the Bahamas after his wife went missing, Brian Hooker, set free last night.
Hooker was taken into custody in the disappearance of Lynette Hooker. He claims she fell out of a motorboat 2 weekends ago. Brian Hooker's attorney, Terrell Butler, said as Hooker prepared to leave,
"The first victory is he's out of here tonight, so I'm very pleased."
To this point, he has not been charged with a crime.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Extra 106.3 wants to know, is this what you voted for? Call 404-741-1230 and let us know on the Morning Extra.
Tug and Los till 10, an extra 106.3.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul.
Buddy, it doesn't get any better than that. Charlie Daniels Band, CDB, starting this off this 7 o'clock hour. If there's other songs that we need to include that would make your Tuesday better, then hit me at 404-741-1230, and we'll throw a list together and see if we can't make you smile.
Tonight Request Tuesday.
Come on. Yeah,
all your requests now.
Going back to my FM music radio days. You know? Just getting all the requests in. Everybody wants to hear what they want to hear.
I do got one queued up for Know It All Mom coming up.
Okay, Know It All Mom's already reached out. Wow.
Okay. From yesterday.
Oh, from yesterday. Gonna work it in today. I love it. She's the best. Stephanie is the greatest. She is on top of what seems like everything. I mean, she always has insight on everything that we talk about, and it's always very good. So love having her part of the show. Love having you part of the show. At Extra 106.3 across social media platforms, at Tug Coward, at Front Office Los if you want to find us individually here on the Morning Extra. Braves yesterday looked pretty rough. Grant Holmes only went like 4 innings, got the hook, and then the Braves go on to lose 10-4. I just remember the Braves scoring because it was 3-0. Braves score 3 runs. I'm like, oh, we're back in this thing. It's all good. You know, and then the Marlins go up 6-3, and I'm like, okay,
no.
All right. I'm done with this. I'm headed to bed.
They got back in it.
Yeah.
Got back out of it.
That's right. Exactly. Just as quickly. That's the funny thing. Just as quickly. They got right back out of it just as quickly. Anyway, the best we can do, I guess. We'll get them today. That's what they always say, right? We'll get them tomorrow. We'll get them today.
Could be worse. The Mets are on a 6-game losing streak. So
nobody else in the rest of the NL East is playing extremely well. So
we are playing pretty well overall, and definitely in comparison to that. But anytime you hear the word Mets, you automatically assume they're going to lose. You know, they have a tradition, a rich tradition.
They call it Metsing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have words to describe it. It's amazing. That's good news that the Mets are doing bad. I mean, Chipper Jones named his kid after one of their stadiums because he beat them to death so badly all the time when he named his kid Shea. I love that. This is Extra 106.3, the first thing to know this morning.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Extra, Tug Los, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold, Tug is
Los, there's some things that we have to get accomplished in this war against Iran. And a lot of those things, we're checking the boxes, right? We're going through them. The strategy now to block the Straits of Hormuz for everybody, or for the Iranians, not everybody else. Everybody else kind of get free passage as they need to, as long as it's not going to or dealing or doing business with Iran. Everybody can kind of come in and out as they please. It's a really smart strategy, but on top of that, there is something else that has to be done. There is a final step.
Yeah, and I think we need to have this talk. You know, as the dad's in the room, here's what the talk needs to be. The Iranians aren't going to give up their uranium without a fight. That's just what it looks like. We bomb them all to hell. We're going to economically smother them. They are going to have so many problems just handling what they need to handle within their own country as far as paying all their thugs to keep the people in line. What it now becomes is when it comes down to getting the uranium, what type of operation and what's it going to take? And that's the adult conversation now. Because even if the reports are correct from yesterday, excuse me, that the Iranians had offered, we'll have a 5-year window where we won't do anything. Okay, that just means you're out trying to outwait this administration.
And
that's all.
That's all it is. And they're notorious for this.
Yes.
Nobody could ever believe them, even when we sat down, even if they would have come to an agreement. Let's back it all up and say that the agreements or the peace talks didn't fall apart. If they would have signed a deal, I wouldn't have believed it. There's not a bit of me that believes anything that the Iranians say that they'll do. They just don't operate that way. And they've proven that for the better part of 50 years. Do not trust them. People that are from Iran says do not trust the people in charge. Do not trust the government, whomever that is now, assuming it's the IRGC, because that's really all that's left. You cannot trust them. They have the desire to end civilization. That's part of their plan. So if you know that going forward, what would give you any incentive to trust them?
Yes. At one point, are you going, oh, that sounds like a great idea?
Yeah, sure. Let's just blow it all up. I think that's, absolutely. Let's
totally fine.
Yeah.
Everything's good there.
Yeah.
No questions asked at that point. But in knowing that that's what the goal is, now we have to have that conversation of what's it going to take. And
how are we going to get it?
How are we going to get it? And where is it located? How are we going to get it? You know, what is it going to cost us? It is an operation against probably a target that's going to be very difficult to get to.
Absolutely. And it's going to take time, too. It's not like Venezuela where you popped in and got Maduro and it literally happened in 10 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't a snatch and grab.
Yeah, going to get buried uranium from people that don't want you to get said buried uranium, they are going to fight tooth and nail. And you ask, well, they don't have a military. Yes, you're right. They don't have an air force. They don't have a navy for the most part. But we know that the Russians and the Chinese are sending in weaponry. They know that they have the backup of those countries, even though it's quietly. And we're going to have to address that at some point too, because that's going to be a big, big fight. And what does the American people have stomachs for?
Right.
That's the biggest question, because you and I both said we don't want boots on the ground, but we're going to have to send boots to get that. Whether it's special operators, maybe it's not like a full-on military war like you're normally used to seeing, like it was in Iraq per se. but it's going to have to. You're going to have to send operators in there to get that stuff.
Yeah,
and the equipment too.
Yeah, this is where things get tricky. Now, when it comes to what we were able to pull off in terms of creating our own airstrip and being able to land there and rescuing 2 downed pilots, all right, we're talking about amping this up considerably in order to basically surprise, get in, get out, and be able to carry away however so much of this stuff it's going to take. And so that becomes the next conversation. And because I don't believe, no matter what we continue to do, that Iran is going to give that stuff up willingly.
They absolutely are not, dude. That's 100% correct. And a very good observation, and people aren't thinking about it, I don't think. It's not anything that's really leading every newscast. It's, when they're talking about Iran, it's right now the conversation, the talking point, if you will, is about the Straits of Hormuz, whether you think it's good, bad, what it's doing to them, what it's doing to us, what it's doing to world markets. Nobody is considering, are we going to physically have to put, big earth movers down near Isfahan or Natanz or wherever all the uranium is? And what does that look like? How long does it take? Because I would think, dude, this is a better part of 2 or 3 weeks, if not a month, to dig all that out.
Yeah, this is real work. That's I guess we've gotten to this point now, Tug, where at least with this show we've talked about so many things operationally and what they take, and based on your military experience and my nerdy level of history of what's going on in the past. This is that next conversation. And I'm not saying you should do this at a bar or a family get-together.
Right.
But this is going to be that next conversation with your friends of, hey, what are we willing to do to go get this stuff?
Yeah, or just as
what can we stomach?
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know that the American people have a strong stomach for anything that looks like boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I think the fallout from that will be major if we have to do it. Now, if you can wait, I'm not saying that you can, but if you can wait till after the midterms, might be a good plan. Might be a good plan to do it then. I just don't know if you have that kind of time. And maybe we do. Hey, maybe the whole battle over the Straits of Hormuz will take us right up to the midterms, and we won't have to worry about it until afterwards. But at some point, the problem is it's got to be dealt with, and I just don't know who is going to raise their hand to say, yep, let's go do it. Look, Donald Trump doesn't have to get elected again, so at least for him, he can say, I'm doing what I think is best for the country and the best for the world. Midterms be damned. He's already admitted as much as, look, this is probably going to take longer than we expected. We thought that maybe the Iranians would give in a little quicker. I mean, because they continue to fight, and are they capable of doing much? No, but they're not giving up. They're not laying down. They're not saying that we're willing to come to an agreement to stop all this. So he said that. He's also said that gas prices will probably be higher than they have been under his administration up through the midterms. So he's almost like he's alluding to some things that he's trying to maybe condition people for. I don't know if I'm looking at that
preparing you mentally for what's coming.
That's what it feels like a little bit to me. So then the next thing will be, I don't know how you prepare people to say, hey, we're going in. We're going to send our boys and girls and our special operators, and they're going to take earth movers with them. Because think about the difference in the makeshift airport, Los, that we built to get the weapons officer that was shot down in the F-15. We created basically an airport, right?
Yes.
And we did that in a weekend. He got shot down Friday. We had him home by Sunday. We were able to get in there and get it quickly. Again, that's one person that's not buried under a mountain. I just don't know that people are thinking about how much this will take. And do you have to set up a perimeter by just dropping ordinances all around it to set yourself up in a position where, okay, we bombed all this out. Now we have our special operators and everybody guarding that. Maybe it's the Marine Corps. I don't know. It's me just guessing. And then we start digging, and ever how long it takes is how long it takes.
Is how long it.
You know what I mean?
Is how
But
long
there's
it
just
takes.
there's just so much unknown. How deep is it? Where is it? What is it in? Is it in a cavern? Is it in a cave? Is it underneath the mountain? I mean, nobody really knows.
Where are you hiding this thing, buddy?
Exactly. And if you don't know where it is, you have no idea how long it's going to take to get out. So but it has to be done. That's the thing. That the whole point of this conversation is it has to be done.
If they're not going to give it to you,
it has to be done.
This is where you are now. It's like you're just going to have to.
And
take
that's
it
the
from
red
them.
line, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. We could have dealt with a whole lot of things. We can't deal with that. That's been the whole point and the whole cause for doing what we're doing. So this is something that we'll just have to monitor, because I can't imagine when Donald Trump's going to finally stand in front of the podium and say, this is what we got to do. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. The Chinese, they're going to start pushing back too. I told you this yesterday, and I believe it to be true. The Chinese are not just going to allow us to shut down the Straits of Hormuz. I saw where there was a Chinese general that says, we basically feel like we have the right through international law and our contracts, that if we need to go through the Straits of Hormuz and do business with the Iranians, we will. It was the first message. It says, we have business and we expect to be able to conduct it. Military general out of the CCP. And they don't release messages like that without approval of the CCP. So this is the first, just salvo's not the right word, but this is the first message. And you can expect more of these.
Here's where we're standing on.
That's exactly right. This is
what we believe in.
We got business to be done, and we're going to get it done. So what happens next? Will we stop a Chinese flagged vessel if they were headed in or headed out of the Gulf? That's what you got to consider. Much like going in to get the uranium, you got to consider this. And I think Trump will be in communication with President Xi before any of these things get, too crazy, too out of hand. I guess, if you bomb out Carg Island, then the business would stop, because the Iranians would have nothing to sell on the world, to the world and on the world stage when it comes to their oil and that to be a part of the economy. But Polymarket reported, strangely enough, it was Polymarket that I saw, said that there had been 2 tankers bound for China that were turned around by the blockade. So that means we've at least told them no. And for those 2 ships, they said okay, and they went back to where they came from. I would imagine later, Los, you're going to see the Chinese, when they send those tankers in, that they're going to have maybe their own military on board. That's when things get a little bit sideways, and they're going to have to be a whole lot of strategy to make sure that this doesn't devolve into something ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you are talking about international contracts, and here's what you're doing, and you don't want this to escalate. Now, from what I understand from reading the article on this, you had a couple of these vessels operating with false flags.
That's right.
So at that point, okay, sorry.
That one's easy, right?
Yeah, that one's easy. That one's an easy call. What happens when you're operating a vessel legally in international waters with an international contract, and suddenly you're subject to a blockade?
Yeah.
Like, how does that play out?
And what happens if they don't stop?
Yes.
I mean, and look, the Navy will run them head on. We don't back off to anybody. I've seen it a million times. But there's going to have to be some conversation, because if you send, the United States Marines on board a Chinese vessel or flagged vessel, dude, that is going to go south quick.
That might as well. Again, and it's obviously in terms of being at sea, but that is legally like sending them into China.
Yeah. That's right, because it's theirs. The other thing that's come out of this a little bit, that's in a bit of a different direction, is that the Saudis say the East-West pipeline has already been restored and is up and running. So that is eliminating some of their need to pass oil through the Straits of Hormuz, because it's going out of pipeline out in, I believe it goes to the Red Sea. So that does take down the temperature there too, because then the Saudis don't really even need to pass through there. There's a lot going on, man. This is
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot of layers to this thing, and I find it fascinating. I do. I find it interesting to be able to watch and discuss and talk about. But you just wonder how the Chinese specifically are going to react to this. That's the trump card that we don't know, or the joker that we don't know in the deck. How does the Chinese respond to this blockade? And we know, because we saw those aircraft, and we talked about them yesterday. They're like the C-130, a big, huge aircraft flying in. We know that 2 have come into Iran, and we assume, and everything that I've read says that it is supplying the Iranians with more weapons. So, dude, the ability for this thing to get crazy with the Chinese, because truly the strategy is all about the Chinese to begin with, Los. So for this to get sideways with the Chinese is certainly a possibility, something we got to pay attention to.
Yeah, this is that next that next area we have to anticipate and handle sensitively.
Yes, we do. When we continue on Extra 106.3, a number that cannot possibly be real on Extra 106.3.
The Morning Xtra, Neil Bortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Xtra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Quick question. Are your tires ready for spring rain? If your tread is worn, traction drops fast on wet roads, and stopping distance can increase when you need it most. Right now at Marietta Toyota, they can take care of you because it's the Toyota Tire Savings Event. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for just $1. Get the right tires for your Toyota, installed by factory-trained technicians with road hazard coverage included on eligible tires. Toyota Tire Price Match is available, plus top brands and additional rebates that may be available. Voted Best of Cobb, Best New Car Dealership, Best Dealership Service Center for 2026. You can trust the work. Offer ends April 30th. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
Restrictions apply. Valid on participating brands. 4th tire of equal or lesser value. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
At Georgia Power, we are committed to protecting our customers' personal information and exposing the tricks that scammers use to steal your hard-earned money. If someone comes to your door and doesn't have a Georgia Power uniform and badge, or calls you on the phone and threatens to turn off your power if you don't make an immediate payment, they are scammers. If you suspect a problem, call us immediately. Never let the person into your home, and call law enforcement if you're concerned. To learn more about how to protect yourself, visit georgiapower.com/scams.
Sponsored by Georgia Power.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mark O'Brien, President and CEO of Lake Point Sports, the premier travel and youth sports destination.
So imagine this, 30,000 people on campus, you lose power. So being in the trenches with a group like Georgia Power, and you have someone to call, those are things that we have to navigate in real time, and sometimes it happens out of nowhere, and it can be a lightning strike that just happens, Mother Nature. So we're very fortunate. Georgia Power has a number of programs and offerings and services, but I think it's the one-call touch that really, we look for partnerships like that, and we want to be relational and not transactional, particularly on something so important as this.
Yeah. To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit georgiapower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
This is House Call for Health.
A recent study suggests sugary drink taxes may have little effect on some fast food customers. Researchers at New York University finding that soda taxes may not deter customers from ordering higher calorie drinks at some fast food drive-thrus. The study analyzed customers at 120 Taco Bell locations across 5 U.S. cities over a 6-year period. Half of the Taco Bell locations studied were in locations that impose a soda tax, a 1 to 2 cent per ounce surcharge that aims to improve public health by encouraging customers to order lower calorie alternatives. But the study showed the taxes did not produce a meaningful change in beverage calories purchased compared to the cities that do not charge a sugary drink tax. While other studies suggest soda taxes do seem to work at grocery stores, linked to a drop in sales in some areas. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
In an election year, many people ask which polls I trust. So let me share some basic guidelines. Arguably, the most important thing is look for polls that use probability-based or random sampling. That gives the best chance the results reflect the broader population. Whether the sample is all adults or a list of registered voters, and whether interviewing is on the phone, online, or by mail, or a combination of those, you want a truly random sample. You should easily be able to find that information. If you can't, don't trust the results. That's how important transparency is. Transparency applies to things like the dates the survey was conducted, how many people were interviewed, the margin of error, what questions were asked, and who sponsored the research. Is it nonpartisan? All those things matter. Even then, not all polls are equal. Finally, avoid opt-in or self-select online polls. Those are just for entertainment. I'm Dana Blanton, and that's your Poll Paris.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, April 14th, and here are your headlines. Eric Swalwell says he will step down from Congress after facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, including claims from several women detailed in recent reports. He says he wanted to avoid distractions from his duties as a bipartisan push to remove him from office was already gaining heavy momentum. A global phishing operation tied to more than $20 million in attempted fraud has been dismantled in a joint investigation involving the FBI and international partners. Officials say the scheme used a tool known as Well to create fake login pages, stealing credentials and bypassing security systems, with more than 25,000 compromised accounts being sold. And finally, unseasonably hot weather is expected to continue across metro Atlanta this week, with temperatures possibly hitting in the 90s. Well above the seasonal average of 73 degrees, forecasters are saying that several daily records could be broken, with dry conditions also raising concerns about worsening droughts across the region. Today's weather is lots of sunshine with a high of 87 and a low of 58. The Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10, an Extra 106.3. I think this doctor's come up with a plan. If you don't like needles, and a lot of people don't, people get shaky around needles. Some people even, faint, pass out, black out. Bryce is raising his hand. As a matter of fact, are you serious?
So I think it was 2 years ago. I got a physical and they had to draw blood, and I was watching the lady do it, and she was struggling to do it. And normally I don't get queasy with that kind of stuff, but I was watching her, and the needle kept going deeper and deeper into my arm, and I said, "Ma'am, I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm about to fall out.
Things are starting to get a little dark."
I'm about to fall out. I'm about to collapse on this table, ma'am. And that's the thing, you have to say it right. Like a girl, a female would faint. A dude blacks out. You can't say a dude fainted. Dude, that's the worst. That would be awful. Bryce fainted. You can't say that.
No, I didn't. I blacked
out. Exactly. Got to get the language right.
I blacked me out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right now, right meow, you got to do it.
Yeah. And if you don't do it right meow, something's wrong. I'm thinking you're soft or something. But the reason I bring this up, if you despise needle, there's a virologist that thinks he's created this experimental beer vaccine using engineered yeast to deliver antigens to your body, whatever the shot you need to get is. But they're going to need a lot of more clinical testing. I mean, how do you sign up for that? But you want me to go drink beer? I'll do that.
Mama says that sounds like the devil.
That's right. And Mama's probably right. But how many people would you be able to convince, though? Just, go down here in the Battery and be like, hey, we're going to do an experiment on you. We need to give you a shot. No, I'm not taking a shot. No way. What if you just drink beer? Okay, I'm in for that. Dude, you'd save all kinds of money down there in the Battery because beers are so expensive. You can talk anybody into anything.
I don't know. I've never had an issue with giving blood or anything else like that. My daughter, who gets IV bags on a regular basis, she doesn't have a deal. It's my youngest who acts like we're 3 or 4 days out from her getting some sort of inoculation shot, and she's like, "What are you gonna do for me? What happens if it hurts?" I'm like, it ain't gonna be that bad.
It's just like a little pinch, man. I say it. I don't know. I don't understand how people get so worked up over needles. I really don't. I don't understand it.
They're long and they're pokey. I've gotten better about shots.
They're long and they're pokey.
That sounds very filthy. What are you talking about, Bryce?
The needle.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Head out of the gutter.
Yeah. Well, I'm just telling you. Just telling you what it sounds like, man.
I love it.
Yeah, but
Bryce working dirty and blue.
That's right. You know him. He's so filthy.
No,
He's just a filthy
better,
man.
I've gotten better about shots, but whenever I was younger, I thought I was going to die. When I saw
but I guess when you're younger, like my son had to have an ingrown toenail removed, and dude, they have to put a needle in your toe, and because I remember I had to have it done when I was a kid too, so I told him, I was like, all right, here's what's going to happen.
It makes me squirmy.
Yeah, exactly. I see you squirming in there, and I was afraid he was going to be a little squishy too, and he was just like, man, whatever it takes, this hurts, got to get it fixed, let's go get it done. Which is what I like. That's right.
That's why you're my boy.
That's exactly right, dude. If you got all squishy, I'd have been like, quit being such a wuss. Go there and get it fixed and get it done and be done with it, man. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. It is time to go by the numbers on Xtra 1063. There is one that cannot possibly be real.
But I'll be all right as long as there's light from a math dude. Most people don't like math, they run from the sun.
Never run from the sun when it comes to some of this data. There's always been like this joke that when you argue with people in sports, that whenever, like, let's say, for instance, there's the argument over, like, well, who's the greater basketball player? Is it Kobe Bryant? Is it Shaq? Well, we had Jordan, and we always saw what Michael Jordan was. And the argument you can always go to is, well, listen, Jordan played in 6 NBA finals, and he won all 6. And that immediately makes people angry. They're like, oh, that's the only argument you have. Okay, the joke is it's the only argument you need.
Yeah, what more do you need?
It's the only one that you really need when it comes to this entire argument. Well, I saw a note yesterday, and some of this is nuanced, but this is very general, and you can read this from David M. McIntosh. He ended up having the post on X about it. So you had a total number of homicides in this country in 2024 that was a little bit over 20,000. 20,162.
Got it.
Illegal immigrants killed 13,000 Americans in 2024.
That is a large number.
That's 64% of all murders.
That jumps off the page.
Now, here's the number, and this is where the context comes in. And this was an added note that got put in later that mentions the 13,000 figure reflects cumulative homicide convictions in the U.S. or abroad among non-citizens on ICE's non-detainer docket as of mid-2024. Not murders by illegal immigrants committed in 2024. Many are incarcerated. But here's the number. It's too big.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You could balance it out any way you want to. Dude, the number's still gigantic.
The number's
those people,
too big.
And they should. And for people that aren't even supposed to be here to begin with, though, if they're not here, those numbers don't happen.
That represents, now, again, if we don't mess with the numbers at all, that represents 64% of the total murders in the U.S. in 2024. Now, again, let's just say the numbers are skewed, and it should only be, 9,000.
Okay, still.
All right, it's still 56% of the murders.
That's still a gigantic number, and it still needs to change.
You're still getting into an area where you're like, how are you accounting for nearly 50% of all the murders in the country?
Well, when you leave the door wide open
to murderers,
and nobody bothers to vet them to say, hey, are they good for our society? Are these people going to bring something that is additional? They're going to bring something good when they come here. And when you don't decide that, you don't figure that out, and you just leave it to chance, most of the time, seems like the chance is going against us.
Once again, I only need this argument.
Yeah.
This is the Jordan
argument. That's right.
This is the Jordan argument. Like, is that the only point you have? It's the only one I need.
Yeah, that's enough to make people. And I think the majority of people are caring, kind people, and at the same time, they're like, I don't care about this because this is detrimental to the neighborhood that I live in. This is detrimental to the city that I live in. This is detrimental to the country that I live in. When it all points to bad, and the majority of it does, then people feel some kind of way about it, and I understand. It doesn't, and that's another thing. You've got to, we talked about having the stomach to go get the uranium. You have to have the stomach to use that chainsaw approach of deportations. Get as many people out as you possibly can. Are there going to be abuelas that are swept up in it? Yes. And unfortunately, it's still got to happen.
It's again, the numbers point to a situation where you just can't ignore it. It can't be well, that's only in a few occasions. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a few occasions.
Sorry. Okay. Well, let's just say again. Let's back the numbers down. Let's say they account for 30% of all the murders.
It's still too much.
Still too much.
Right, because if they weren't here, those murders don't happen. So if you take that out of the equation, then things go back in a positive direction. I just don't know. I hope the American people keep the stomach that they have. The polling has always showed it doesn't matter if you're accused of violent crime or you're just here because you broke the law coming here. What was it? 56% of people still are like, hey, you got to go.
Yeah, it's well over. It's been a majority for as long as they've tracked it. It has been as high as if you've committed a crime. Anywhere between, depending on the poll, 75 to 86% say you got to go. Yeah. And as high as 56% that say no matter what you've done, you've got to go.
There's a civil rights pioneer by the name of Clarence Henderson, and he's calling out the anti-American plan to destroy the country from within with illegal immigration. I want you to hear what this man from North Carolina has said, and he led the sit-ins that happened in Greensboro, North Carolina. And it changed, that city, that state, and then ultimately, part of the greater part of the United States. But he's tired of the anti-American agenda, and that's what he calls it. And his message to Americans, he wants you to hear, is this.
If America's so racist, why are people dying to come here, but nobody's dying to leave? And so we that understand what America's all about have to stand together and fight so that we can preserve the freedom and dignity of America. And for our people coming behind us, our children, what kind of America will we leave them if we don't stand up for what we believe in right now? Faith requires courage if we're going to walk by it. And so I've dedicated my life to help bridge that gap so that in America we start perishing together as fools and start living the life that America affords us.
Goodness gracious, dude. What a statement. Yeah. Stop perishing as fools. Start living the life that America has afforded us. From a man that has seen the best and the worst. A guy that says, I recognize what's happening. And I want you to know, there ain't nobody dying to leave. Everybody's dying to get here, but they constantly tell you America's horrible. America's this terrible place. And Clarence goes, it's not. And we must preserve it. We always talk about preserving and what we're going to leave to our kids and grandkids, Los. He says the exact same thing. This guy is exactly right. Why is no one dying to get out if it's such a horrible place? And everybody dying to get in. The Democrats trying to keep them here because they need a voting base because people like Clarence no longer vote for the Democrats.
Yeah, no, it's a very it's a very simple argument. Like, if it's so bad, then why is it this beacon of hope for everyone around the world? And again, it's not like we don't want people to come here.
No, that's right.
It's still all about do this the right way. And everyone, for some reason, that is like some sort of dog whistle for, well, that's just a racist way of looking at things. No, that's called a legal way of looking at things.
Clarence would disagree. Clarence Henderson, you heard him talk. He says faith requires courage, and having the courage to do what's right in the United States, and that is making people follow the law. That's all he's saying, is that people need to follow the law when they come here. Los, he's saying exactly what you've said. It's exactly right. It's the exact same thing. And when I ran across that dude, I had to listen to it a couple of times. I was like, just because the man has seen everything. Good, bad, and different. He's seen it all. And for him to go, I recognize this, and it is not good. And to have the courage to speak out, to have the courage to say what he said, knowing that people on the left are going to, I'm sure they'll attack him too. They attack everybody else. And I can't imagine.
What are you saying, old man?
Exactly, dude. That's what it'll be. He's, they'll say something ugly about him, which is ridiculous.
If you've been part of the movement, that's not a surprise.
No, of course not. But wow, what a statement. Faith requires courage, and he's exactly right. And it's going to take courage to do the things that need to be done to salvage the United States of America. It ain't going to be easy, and you're going to be called all kinds of horrible names, and it doesn't matter. You still got to do it. When we continue on Extra 106.3, these people, the people that have come here, and maybe some of them have criminal backgrounds, but definitely some of them despise the United States of America, and some of them should be denaturalized and deported immediately. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, April 14th. The Atlanta Braves dropped the opening game of their 3-game series at the Miami Marlins last night. 10-4, the final. Game 2 goes down tonight from Truist Park. It'll be Ronaldo Lopez returning to the mound. He'll be opposed by Max Meyer. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and the Fan app. On the injury front, Brave starter Spencer Strider will make his first rehab start on Thursday this week. The team does plan for him to make perhaps 3 starts and bring him back early next month as he returns from an oblique injury. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
It's spring break time and summer vacations are right around the corner. While you're thinking about fun in the sun, you should also be thinking about who's protecting your home while you're away. This is Matt Harvey with Alert 360 Security, and we offer the latest in security and video surveillance technology to provide you with the peace of mind that comes from knowing your home is safe and secure. Starting service with Alert 360 is easy. Visit us at alert360atlanta.com, establish service in April, and get a free video camera. Protect what matters most. alert360atlanta.com.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org. Helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog and our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
Great, another auto repair. You took it to the dealer and now you're starting to panic. They say it's going to cost thousands and take weeks to complete. So don't fall for the tricks. Take it to Vicks. From simple oil changes and tires to transmission replacements and collision repair, you can count on Vicks Auto Care for honest, affordable service. Vicks Auto Care on Roswell Street in Marietta. Visit them today at VicksAutoCare.com. That's VIKS Autocare.com.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6.
I knew he had some kind of personal, what the hell? That damn phrase won't come out of the thing, they're not self-defense.
Karate?
No, the thing you call the sport of...
Martial arts.
Martial arts. God.
MMA. Dorothy Boyd, thank you.
Oh, criminy.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I swear Kimmer might be my dad and I don't know it. Because I do that all the time where I just can't find the word and it just doesn't come out. And it
What is this word?
What is this? And it turns out it's martial arts. It's not like it's a difficult word, but I do it all the time. So maybe Kimmer should marry Mama. I don't know.
Maybe.
Mom, call Mama and see what she thinks about it. See if she's interested at all. But this is the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. It always, I love Flounder jumping in. Karate?
Karate?
No, martial arts. It's martial arts, damn it. Tug and Los until 10 here on Extra 106.3. I think Americans by nature are the most easygoing people in the world. You don't have to see things the way I do. We may not agree with it, but I ain't going to fight you over it. Live and let live and all that. I'm becoming to the end of my rope on this part because I do want to let people live and let live. Whatever you want to go do, what you want to do. You live how you want to live. It doesn't have to go along with my faith, my beliefs, my even my understanding of the way the things should work in the country. But the thing that I am sick and tired of, the thing that I have had enough of, I'm fed up to here with, are like these students at Swarthmore College in Pennsylvania. I want you to hear what they're saying, and then I want you to understand how tired I am and what we need to do about it. Listen.
Take another soldier out! Take another soldier out! Run, you make us proud! Run, you make us proud! Take another soldier out! Take another soldier out! Hezbollah, you make us proud! Hezbollah, you make us proud!
You're at a private university in the United States of America.
So they go on and they're talking over top of each other and screaming and hollering about it. But I don't know if you picked up on what the the people wearing the keffiyeh were chanting, "Iran, Iran, make us proud, take another soldier out," meaning, obviously United States military member. Hezbollah, you make us proud, take another soldier out. This is at a Quaker college, a college that was founded by the Quakers. I don't think that that's what they had in mind with their liberal arts college. Can you have difference of opinion? Yes. Can you have a difference of opinion on what should happen in Iran or what shouldn't happen? Absolutely. But when you start saying, take another soldier out, I am done. You need to be freaking denaturalized and deported. And if you were indeed here the way you came here, you weren't born and raised here, you came here of your own fruition, whether it is you came here legally or not. If you came here and got naturalized, you need to be denaturalized, because I'm so tired of this, dude. Deport these people. We don't need them here. I'm so tired of hostile people waving flags of different countries and especially terrorist organizations. Dude, I have zero patience left for this.
And this is a little bit contrarian to that. These are the sort of things that I need to hear from American citizens to be able to identify that you're a moron.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does. You're waving the flag, letting me know. Yeah, I get it.
There is a value where I go, man, that person's an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me know in this way. This is the other part of free speech where, again, I'm with you. If you're a guest in this country, well, then you need to get out of this country. You got to
go, man. You got to go.
That's part of it. But, and that's the other part, too, is that you often have these students that are on these campuses, and they get away from mom and dad for the first time, and now they get to play political activists.
Oh, my God.
It just lets you know how smart some of them are or how dumb some of them are.
Right. I think the American people are getting fed up with all this, though. Or at least everyday Americans are. I know
it doesn't have the fervor of anything that we saw in 2020.
No, you're right. And it's dying off a little bit, and it's slowed down a little bit. But I just have... It's not healthy for the country. It's not good for the country. People being here that came here just to destroy and tear down the country. I'm so tired of it. And I understand what you're saying about it. It tells you who the idiots are. Yes, you're right. They are complete fools. They have no idea, because most of them have never lived in those countries that they reportedly support. They're not. They've never lived in Gaza. They've never lived in Iran. They have no idea what it's like to live under communist rule. Yet they want to get out there and tell you that's the way we need to live. You and I need to live that way. And I'm definitely over it. I think that's part of that whole strategy that Donald Trump has, like deport as many people as you possibly can, and let's round up some of those fools. Let's get them in there. Let's make sure they're on the first train out of town, because I'm completely over it. And I don't think, I'm trying to look up where's I know it's in Pennsylvania, but in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. So there's something that tells me that most of the people that probably live near that college don't feel that way either. You know what I mean? Pennsylvania's pretty blue collar, pretty hardworking. They did elect a Democrat in John Fetterman, but if you've noticed, John Fetterman, he doesn't subscribe to any of that, because he knows the people that he represents don't subscribe to any of that.
Yeah, that's not his jam.
Yeah, and that's the thing that is irritating to me the most, is that the people that live there don't want to hear this BS. And I'm tired of hearing this BS. I'm not saying you have to agree with me on every topic. I'm not even saying you have to agree with me on any topic. But when you're shouting, Iran, 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 we're proud of you, kill another American soldier, dude, I have zero patience for it. They are ignorant, yes, but they need to go to. That's the thing. They got to be out of here. And what does it look like? I don't know. I don't know how to get it done, but that's why Donald Trump is the president and I'm not. I need him to make the. I need him to figure it out.
This.
I need him to figure it out.
This is above my pay grade. I'm going to need you to take care of this.
And I don't know the legality of it. I'm just tired of it. And I'm not even sure I care about the legality at this point. I'm so sick and tired of all that stuff. I just want. I don't want to turn on the TV or social media. And I'm not saying we won't ever see it, because there's always going to be fools. But if I could see it less and less, I would be happier and happier. Says the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3.
It's real quick, Doug. It's interesting seeing it here, because you see it a lot in the UK and Ireland of what's being taken over there as well. And you wouldn't expect it to happen here with how prideful this country's been in the last
250 years. Yeah. No, I agree. But I would say that leftist politics is why Europe has fallen. I mean, Europe is in a bad position. And I always go back and reference that foreign minister for the UAE. He said, we're not going to deal with crazy revolutionaries. We're not going to deal with the crazy terrorists or the Islamists anymore. We've nipped that in the bud for the most part. We realize how to deal with Islamists. Political correctness is what's going to be the downfall of Europe. You're going to see more terrorists coming out of Europe than you will anywhere. That was his words. Now you're seeing it even here in the United States with people just like that. He said that 7 years ago, I think somewhere around in there. And he was so far ahead. He could, it's like he could tell the future. These people are going to let political correctness be the downfall of their country and maybe the death of their country.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're seeing across Europe. I want to fix it here so we don't have. And we're just kind of in the infancy. I mean, Europe's what? Would you say 5-6 years ahead of us, Los?
Yeah, typically when it comes to this stuff, these movements.
That's why we have to nip this in the bud so quick. We've got to start drilling down and figuring out how to fix this problem. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be people that didn't do anything wrong that'll get. So look at El Salvador, what Bukele has done down there. I mean, he even admits, are there some people that got wrapped up in this that probably weren't as big a part? Yes. But
I like it.
Yeah. But we have to figure out how to make our country at least livable, because at that point, I think it was the most dangerous country maybe in the Western Hemisphere.
I mean, they were the country that gave us MS-13.
That's right.
And now they have very little crime in that country.
And you know who are happy about it? The people that live in the country. They're thrilled by it. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 when we come back. What does American dominance look like? We will share it with you on the Morning Extra. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
No hard-hitting political commentary this time. I just want to tell you about a group of people running around loose in this country without any adult supervision. These people actually believe the earth is flat. A big frisbee stationary in space, surrounded by a big ice wall to keep the water from running off, and covered by a dome. They call the dome the firmament. Don't believe me? Look it up. Google Flat Earth. Search YouTube Flat Earth. Or you can go to Amazon Prime and search for a 90-minute movie called Behind the Curve. They talk about the dome, but they don't answer some questions there. What if it cracks? Who repairs it? Who built it? Who keeps it clean? I mean, it's like the Truman Show, a giant planetarium. But here's the kicker. As Behind the Curve comes to an end, they run 2 experiments that absolutely disproves this flat, stationary Earth nonsense. One of them, a $20,000 laser gyroscope. Put it on the ground, the flat Earth, let it run. Every hour, it shows a shift of 15 degrees. We're not stationary. They did not pay that off by saying that 24 hours times 15 degrees equals 360 degrees or 1 rotation. Then they ran a laser experiment shooting a laser beam across many miles that was supposed to show the laser beam is flat and so is the ground over which it travels. Sorry, the laser beam shifted, showing curvature. Why am I sending you off on this wild goose chase? You have to know just how stupid some people in our country are. You have to look out for them and stay the hell out of their way. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car.
My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air. Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Xtra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Xtra 1063 app.
As Congress comes back, 2 lawmakers will go away. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
People who are in positions of power and authority over others need to be held accountable when they take advantage of that position.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, after fellow Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell announced he'd resign.
And frankly, I'm glad that he'll be gone.
While Swalwell is accused of sexual misconduct by 4 women, one alleges rape, which he calls a false allegation he'll fight.
And another shakeup just hours after Swalwell's announcement, Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez announced he's quitting Congress early. The third-term Republican lawmaker is accused of having a coercive sexual relationship with a staff member who later killed herself.
Fox's Alex Hogan. There are reports the U.S. and Iran could hold another round of talks soon. Vice President Vance, who led the weekend negotiations, tells Fox the ball's in Iran's court as the U.S. keeps demanding no nuclear weapons or uranium enrichment.
We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on.
It's day 2 of the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, and Fox's Matt Finn reports from Dubai.
A Chinese-owned ship passed through the Strait of Hormuz today. It's an oil and chemicals tanker that was turned back yesterday, the first day of the blockade, but got through today with success. Now, this tracks with what the president and CENTCOM is saying, which is that the entire Persian Gulf is not blocked. Rather, the U.S. is preventing ships from entering or exiting Iranian ports.
President Trump's warned any Iranian boats threatening the blockade will be eliminated, like the drug boats off the South American coast. Another one blown up yesterday.
In a post on X, Southern Command saying, quote, intelligence confirmed the vessel was transiting along known narco trafficking routes and was engaged in narco trafficking operations. There have been over 50 strikes on drug smuggling boats since the start of President Trump's second term, with over 170 people killed.
That's Carly Shimkus. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Coffee, keys, and Extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
Tug and Los on Extra 106.3. We are so grateful that you spend time with us. Here on Extra 106.3, 404-741-1230 is the number to give us a holler. Or at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms, at Front Office Los, at Tug Coward. Easy to find, easy to discuss whatever's going on. Whether you want to talk about the Braves losing last night or you want to talk about the Straits of Hormuz, we're willing to talk to you about any and all of that stuff, whether on the phone or on social media. So the coolest thing I saw yesterday, Los, was a homecoming for Victor Glover. Did you see the video of that, how his whole neighborhood turned out?
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool look.
Dude, that was so awesome. And it just really illustrated how proud people were of that Artemis 2. I don't know why that one was what captivated America the way it did. And I'm not saying it shouldn't have, but it just seems like it came at the right time, if you know what I mean. People are looking for something, some good news. People are looking for something to cling on to that is not death and destruction, that is not war or arguing or any of that stuff. And that was the perfect timing and the perfect person to be the messenger of it, I suppose.
Yeah, you look at just the accomplishment, and we're always about, like, what's the biggest, the fastest, the strongest.
Yeah.
All right, how about the farthest?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
The farthest we've ever sent humans into space and brought them home safely.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a small thing to just kind of scoff at and be like, And listen, what do I say space is?
Dumb.
It's dumb. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Even if you go, like, to the dumbest place on Earth, if it's the deepest or the furthest, it's, wow, okay, you still did it.
People get pretty excited about, wow, this is how far out we went. Cool.
Dude, I think it's great. And then there was a great video. Let's see if I can find it again. Christina Koch, the one of the astronauts from Artemis, and the video was of her reuniting with her dog. You know, dog just couldn't wait. She's in the blue astronaut, coveralls thing, and she's wearing the hat that she wore when they got out of the capsule and when they came home after they were rescued. They were picked up. We'll say that. After the splashdown happened, Navy goes out and picks them up, and then they come home and they're wearing that uniform. Dog is so happy to see Christina, and her dog's name is Sadie. Little things like that, I find myself, I don't know about you, I find myself gravitating toward anything that's innocent and sweet, especially these days. And you're able to do it, I think, because you have sweet little girls at home that are you still have them under your roof. Like my son's out of the house. I have to look for other things because I don't have him at home to look for. Yeah, well, dude, let me tell you, I told Laura this is off subject, but I told Laura last night, right before we went to bed, I was like, I was missing Jacob this evening. I just had that urge. I wish I could have talked to him. He was, I think they were out playing golf, so I didn't have a chance to catch up to him. But it's the truth, man. You've got something so positive in your house and your girls are doing so well. I think people are looking for exactly what you have.
Yeah, I think, right now I know that me and my wife are living a pretty blessed life in terms of what these girls are doing, how they're getting us so excited. There's something about that level of accomplishment when it's your kids. And so, yeah, I get it. Like, you're looking for those feel-good stories, and there's nothing wrong with that. It can be very difficult to go about your day. There's obviously challenges that people have, and if you haven't been touched by any of them, well, great, good for you. But when you do, then you're always looking for that, okay, where's that silver lining, or where's that something that's going to cheer me up? Movie, comedian, whatever. Something that's going to help me out here.
Anything to unplug. And we say it on this show a lot, is that after 10, we unplug for several hours during the day and we plug back in the evening and prepare for the next day's show. But I'm afraid there's people that just dwell on politics every second of every day.
Yeah, they're in my mentions.
Yeah, I know. I see them, and they're in my email. And there's that part of me that just wants to reply back occasionally and say, "Hey, dude, you ever thought about taking a walk? If you ever thought about maybe a bicycle ride?
Check it out for a little bit?
Yeah, bicycle ride, something. Get on a treadmill, anything."
I mean, even soldiers take the helmet off every now and then.
That's exactly right,
and
dude.
Put it down.
They have to. It's not healthy not to. And I think that's why the Masters was so important, and people watching that, paying attention to it. The Braves are so important. It's an escape. I saw Bryce just sent me this from at White House. 2026 Masters champion Rory McIlroy posing with Donald Trump. Look, I have no idea what his politics are. I know what's going on in Ireland. I'm pretty sure about that part. And I'm guessing he probably don't care for it, just like all those protesters.
It's rumored he's on the left.
Is okay, yeah. even better.
If you get this is what I never understood. Whenever people get the chance to meet the president and they don't do it, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't.
Doesn't matter the politics.
I don't know his politics, but I know what's happening in Ireland is not good, and those people are revolting They're saying that government may get a no confidence vote in the next week or so because of how crazy things are there with the leftist politics and illegal immigration and things like that. But anyway, the whole point in bringing all that up is just look for something good. If you're having one of those days, find you something good. Man, go watch cat videos. I don't care. Go read your Bible, man. There's plenty of things that can cheer you up and lift you up. Cat videos always works for me.
I've always thought that you ever seen the show Intervention?
I've not, but I know it. Isn't that where people are drug addicts and people try to do the intervention on them?
Yeah, let's just say this: if you're having a tough day,
go watch that.
Throw on Intervention. You'll be like, "Ooh, not that tough."
It's smooth sailing.
Not that tough.
Everything looking pretty good these days in comparison, and it really. Everything like that in life.
Am I addicted to this? No, I am not. We're all right here.
Thank the Lord.
Go watch Jury Duty or the new one, Company Retreat. You ever heard of those?
No, I don't think I've heard of those.
So basically, everyone's an actor but one person.
And you got to figure out who it is?
No, you know who it is.
Oh.
But the Jury Duty was the first season, and they set him up in a courtroom with a fake trial and had him on jury duty, making believe it was completely real, and they do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And then this one, in the next season, they have another guy. Everybody's an actor except him, and you know that, but it's just a whole bunch of crazy situations just to see how they would react. It's basically a big social experiment.
Okay, all right.
Very good.
What is it called? Jury Duty?
Jury Duty and then Company Retreat. It's the same people who made it.
There you go. Something to look out for, something to go watch if you're trying to escape for a minute. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. The first thing to know this morning.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Xtra, Tug so bold, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold.
I'm a fan, Los, of American exceptionalism. I'm a fan of American skill and American power. I got to see it up close in the United States Navy. Man, there is nothing like seeing an aircraft carrier function. This thing that's 8 acres across the flight deck, and it's basically a floating airport. Best pilots in the world, pilots that are landing a moving object on another moving object. It's pretty impressive what they've been able to do over the years and what they continue to do. I want to see America dominate because I think America is a power for good, and I don't know that there's many of them out there. So when we're talking about this ability for America to dominate, Donald Trump really does. I think he believes that America should lead and America should dominate, and it's easy to nail it down if you just look. When we're talking about China, because I think they're a big part of what we're trying to accomplish, putting them back in their place. I think the strategy in Iran, the strategy in Cuba, the strategy in the Middle East is all trying to nail down the Chinese. And I believe that when it comes to the oil trade, filtering all that stuff out of the Middle East and into the United States, that's the start of American dominance, yeah?
Sure. I mean, I think when you start looking at just what the whole overall strategy has been, I love when you said escalate to de-escalate, and I think we are going to continue to hammer it in that way. But when you start now cranking up, because let's face it, bombs are supposed to work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Bombs are supposed to work. All right, fine. Now that when you start getting involved in economics, because of the world being connected in the way that it is, you are now playing a game where you are now affecting not just one nation, you're affecting a lot of different nations. And so I think that is why the escalation that was one of the last things to do it, because for anyone who says, hey, why don't you restrict their oil? That's how they finance their their terrorism. Well, because we got a lot of bombs and they tend to work.
Yeah.
And that doesn't upset the Japanese or the French or the Canadians yet.
Yeah.
Now that's the direction we're having to go, and in turn to also influence the Chinese, as you've pointed out from the very beginning of this.
This is so important to control what the Chinese are able to do. I feel like what Donald Trump is doing, Los, is with oil and with energy what the Chinese have done with those rare earth minerals, right? They own the rare earth mineral stockpile. They have contracts all over Africa, all over the world to have access to develop and control the rare earths market. And that it goes from the car you drive every day to the missiles that we fire in war and the aircraft that we put in the air. We need those rare earths, and we don't have access to them, not the way we want to. Donald Trump's trying to change that. This administration's trying to change that, and Lord, I hope they're able to do it. But in the meantime, making yourself the dominant power when it comes to energy is just as effective as being the dominant power when it comes to rare earths. We're resetting what the globe does and who controls energy worldwide. It's basically Donald Trump saying, if it's energy, you got to come to us for it.
Yeah, it's a power play on our part. One that I've made the argument that when America is at its strongest, and this was during the time period when I was having to, read the books on America's decline, I was like, we could always do this. This could always be done. It's really just a matter.
The desire.
It's a matter of choice, exactly. Yeah. It's strictly a matter of choice. Do you choose to use your power in this way? And I am glad that when it comes to this administration and this president, as much as people want to make out the whole, he's a dictator, man, the first 11 executive orders that Joe Biden was forced into signing or was told to sign or just sat there blabbermouthing and decided he was going to sign was all about stripping our energy independence from this country. And you could have the argument of, well, look how much energy we were producing. We were producing more than anybody. But we should have been producing more because even more drives down the price.
That's right. And the excess, what do you do with it? You sell it.
Sell it.
And who does that benefit? The American people. And it not just at the top. That's what always gets talked about. All oil executives or CEOs and whatever. But if they are able to create jobs, and that sets up the market to have jobs for everybody, from the lowest on the education scale or the skills scale all the way up to the smartest people in the industry. It benefits everyone. And then tax dollars. If you're pulling in a ton of money from all over the world, you can lower taxes. That's a good thing. I'm in favor of all that stuff.
Amazing how that works.
Yeah, so right. But I don't understand how people don't see the strategy that's happening. I'm not saying Trump's perfect because he's not. I mean, there's all kinds of things that he's done that I was like, I wish he hadn't have done that, or he could. I feel like he could have done that better. But that's me, just a guy here in Atlanta, Georgia, seeing it from afar. It's easy to be the armchair quarterback when you're not in the position of, with the pressure and the decision making right on your lap, and you have to make it in an instant, make it right now. Are there things that you would have done different? I bet you ask him, there's probably things he would have done different. But if you don't see the strategy of squeezing China and everybody that they deal with, then you're missing the ball. Like I don't. It's sitting on the tee. All you have to do is hit it off.
It's right there. It's right there for you. We are actually putting the Iranians in a position where, yes, we are going to be giving them a whole ton of crap, and that's just how that's going to be. But they're also going to be getting it from China as well. And that is one of their allies. That's somebody they do have to listen to and pay attention to because long after we're done with what's going on there, they're still going to be the Chinese.
No, that's right. I think those Gulf states, too, are doing something behind the scenes that they're not vocal about, and they probably don't want people to know. I feel like they're probably reaching out to the Chinese and the CCP going, y'all got to reel in Iran. Y'all have to help us reel in Iran. Otherwise, we're going to pull back on our agreements with you. And 40% of your oil comes out of this strait, comes out of these countries. So they have leverage too. They have the ability to say, hey, China, help us with this. You don't have to do it. I'm not going to do it out loud. I'm not going to embarrass you on the world stage. We know Xi doesn't do well with that. But quietly, they're able to do something very similar to what the United States is doing, which I think is really good. Another thing I want you to hear, our favorite James Carville. James Carville, this dude, I really have a lot of respect for him because I think he's a really smart man, Los. I do. I think he's such a smart man. But I think he has let his TDS get out of control. He is a guy that is screaming, I want Trump to suffer. Like, that's a hatred that you need to deal with, man. You need to get yourself some help if you're talking about how you want people to suffer, no matter who it is and for what reason. And if you feel this way about anybody, there's a mental stability issue. And you're claiming that Trump is those things. He's the one that's awful. He's the dictator. But you are being and behaving in a way that is really exactly who you claim Trump is. And that's the issue. They say Trump is awful and evil, but when you listen to him talking lows about I want people to suffer, that's actually evil and awful.
There's something that's broken inside of that man.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I mean, that's the only answer that I have. There's something that is broken mentally inside of that man.
I want you to hear this because you'll agree with what Los just said. Something happened. Listen.
I want to be clear on this. I do not want that man to die. I want to watch him suffer, and I can't watch a dead person suffer. So I want him to be fully cognizant come November. So when people tell him,
I want to watch him suffer. Now he likens it to the election. Donald Trump ain't going to suffer if they lose in the election. I mean, other than the fact that the Democrats will try to weaponize the federal government against him. So I guess there is a suffering part there. But I think it's deeper, man. You can hear it in his voice, what he says. Like, he had to clarify, I don't want him to die. I want him to suffer. What kind of weirdo, what kind of sicko says something like that? That dude needs some help, and he's not the only one. He's just the only one saying it out loud. But that's their political strategy, Los. TDS is the political strategy. You've seen John Fetterman even say it. We don't have the leadership of the party. TDS is the leadership.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's just kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. And I don't see any of that changing anytime soon. I don't know how anybody in the midterms is going to go, you know, I'll vote for that. I'll take that. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Dude, you know, you can be like, Trump has made every wrong decision. He's not talking about people suffering. I don't want them to die. I want them to suffer. Be careful what you vote for. That's the only thing I'd say. When we come back on Extra 106.3, the left protects who they need to until they don't anymore. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and the Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
Don't believe this nonsense you see on TV commercials about how uncomfortable a CPAP mask is. Take it from me. You wear one, especially the nasal pillow I use, for one night, and you will fight anybody that tries to take it away from you. But if they do take it away from you, you can get more at cpapsetc.com, cpapsetc.com, with a store in Alpharetta, same-day shipping. To your health, cpapsetc.com.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about them. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with them every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the Subaru Outback, Built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff, an incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
April 24th through 26th, golf and giving back come together at the Mitsubishi Electric Classic presented by Venture. Join us at TPC Sugarloaf as PGA Tour champions legends compete, all while raising vital funds for local charities across Metro Atlanta. It's more than a tournament, it's an event that makes a difference. Be part of it. Get your tickets at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. That's MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. April 24th through 26th. We'll see you there.
Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich is strongly endorsing conservative Rick Jackson for governor. Here's Newt.
Few fought harder for President Trump than me, but nobody will fight harder for you than Rick Jackson. I've known Rick for over 20 years. He came from nothing, built a real business, and saved thousands of lives through his conservative Christian organizations.
America First warrior Newt Gingrich strongly endorses conservative Rick Jackson.
Like Trump, Rick is a once-in-a-generation leader. And like Trump, he can't be bought, he won't be intimidated, and the corrupt insiders know it. That's why they're scared. Rick will freeze insane property taxes, cut income taxes, and he'll fight for you, not the insiders. Join me in supporting my friend, Rick Jackson.
Stand with conservative Newt Gingrich and vote for the conservative outsider, Rick Jackson, for governor.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, April 14th, and here are your headlines. Eric Swalwell says he will step down from Congress after facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, including claims from several women detailed in recent reports. He says he wanted to avoid distractions from his duties as a bipartisan push to remove him from office was already gaining heavy momentum. A global phishing operation tied to more than $20 million in attempted fraud has been dismantled in a joint investigation involving the FBI and international partners. Officials say the scheme used a tool known as Well to create fake login pages, stealing credentials and bypassing security systems, with more than 25,000 compromised accounts being sold. And finally, unseasonably hot weather is expected to continue across Metro Atlanta this week, with temperatures possibly hitting in the 90s. Well above the seasonal average of 73 degrees, forecasters are saying that several daily records could be broken, with dry conditions also raising concerns about worsening droughts across the region. Today's weather is lots of sunshine with a high of 87 and a low of 58. The Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
We try to be engaged here at Extra 106.3 with our community. We've worked with the Smyrna Police Foundation. We've worked with Cobb County Police Foundation. We've worked with the individual police departments. We've worked with fire departments in Smyrna and Cobb County, too. Been up to the fire stations in Alpharetta, not far from where I live, trying to support the events that they take part in, because we care about our community, just like you care about the community that you live in. And I wanted to share this with you. It's a great thing going on. The Sandy Springs Invitational Car Show. It's on the 19th, Sunday from 1 until 4, and it's going to take place on the City Green. Powered by Caffeine and Octane, benefiting Sandy Springs Police Foundation. Over 100 exotic cars and classic cars, police demos, plenty of festival food. Man, you get out there and get you some fried Twinkies and all kinds of stuff. Man, anything you want will be out there. They have a live DJ with music. 100% of the proceeds benefit the Sandy Springs Police Foundation. You can find out more about them at sspdfoundation.org. That's sspdfoundation.org.
And you haven't lived until you've gotten yourself a fried Twinkie.
That's right. Los, you're exactly right.
I haven't lived.
Yeah, right.
No.
So you need to get out there, Bryce. Anything fried is better. It doesn't matter. Fried Snicker bars are good. I remember I used to make fun. A friend of ours, when we would take the boys to play baseball out of town, like Los is doing the club stuff with his daughters right now. When my son was that age, we would take, the boys would go down to Orlando, or we'd go up Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, sometimes New York, sometimes all the way out to Missouri. And we would play ball. And a friend of ours, who is an Air Force veteran, he used to always fry Oreos for the boys. And let me tell you, I always made fun of him. I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And for about the first 4 years, I didn't try it. The last year of travel ball with that group, I finally tried it, and I was like, oh, my God, I've been an idiot.
What have I been missing?
This whole time, I've been so dumb. My bullheadedness has made me miss out on all this deliciousness for the last 5 years. Finally, I've found the ill of my ways and got to enjoy them. Now, look, they ain't good for you. I'm not trying to pretend they're good for you. They just taste good. That's
not
all.
a substitute for asparagus.
Yeah, you still need, which we had at our house last night, salmon and asparagus and a salad and some couscous. Yeah,
but I will tell you, Tug, if you want to see something fun and for the audience to check it out, the State Fair of Texas every year.
Oh, I bet they
menu.
have. Dude, I bet that is a spectacle.
Dude, the invention is, how do you fry stuff that typically you don't know how to deep fry?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I think fried watermelon.
You see, there you go.
I'm telling you.
That whatever it takes, just make it fun, make it entertaining, and make people smile. General admission tickets are just $10 to the Invitational Car Show. Kids 10 and under are free. All the details, again, at sspdfoundation.org or caffeineandoctane.com. We've got a family 4-pack of tickets. Going to send you and your sweet family to the Sandy Springs Invitational Car Show on the 19th, on Sunday. If you want to call me up, we'll take caller number 5 at 404-741-1230, 404-741-1230, and we'll send you on your way. It's going to be a fun time for everybody. And then it's a good cause. Yes, sir.
I do have a list from the Dallas Observer.
Okay, here we go.
In 2025, these are all the things that they deep fried.
Let's go.
Alligator.
Yes.
Alligator egg nest.
Ooh.
Bacon cinnamon roll. Ew. Bacon mac and cheese egg rolls.
Yes.
Baked potato.
Yep.
Banana pudding. Beignets. Tug, this goes on for forever.
Dude, it's as long as your arm.
Yeah. Catfish. Collard greens. Collard greens with ham.
Okay.
Corn dog. Yeah. Just one after anything that they can possibly figure out how to deep fry, they do it at the Texas State Fair.
Fried Snicker bars and things.
Fried ice cream.
Yeah.
You said Snicker bars. Okay, let me see if I could say.
I guarantee
you. Deep fried s'mores, deep fried Snickers. Yeah.
Can't imagine anything that is not on the list. And they would be disappointed if somebody were to come up with something that they haven't tried. They would feel it. They let the community down.
Who hath beaten us here?
Yeah, right. We've got to correct this. We've got to get this right. So if you want to go to this incredible thing and have some of that fried food, then reach out to us, 404-741-1230. I keep seeing a pattern, Los. Another case of the open secret in Washington, D.C. You remember when Eric Swalwell was slamming Donald Trump, saying that he was a part of the Epstein files. Now, we know that that's not the case, but that's what he went with, all the while knowing what he was actually doing, or he's alleged to have been doing.
Eric Swalwell standing up for victims? What an absolute liar. It's a total joke. All this time he was out attacking Donald Trump and the administration over the Epstein files. He himself, he knew what he had going on. The problems, in my opinion, run much deeper, though, than just Swalwell's hypocrisy and his disgusting behavior. Now, as I was reading all this, as the dam was breaking, what I was reading was that everyone knew it. Open secret was a phrase that you would see. The most well-known thing on Capitol Hill, quote, he was a problem even before he got to Congress. You had Democrats and reporters, media types saying all of this. Every single one of them. Oh, yeah, we all knew. Why didn't somebody report this until the middle of a gubernatorial campaign? They let these women, these kids, these interns, these young women on Capitol Hill suffer in silence. And for what reason? to protect this Looney Tunes Eric Swalwell because he was good at going out and attacking Donald Trump. I mean, let's be honest. That's why he was under their protection.
That's right, and he nailed it. And if you heard the Fox News update right at the beginning of the 8 o'clock hour, they had Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, saying, well, I'm so glad that he's gone. They're like, wait a minute. Now you're glad that he's gone? This is an open secret. You've known it the whole time, so you're taking the time now to say you're glad that he's gone, ma'am? Come on.
It's funny. I mean, it's at that point now where you know how animals, when they realize another animal is sick, they will like distance themselves from it. That's what's going on.
Yeah, it's purely politics.
But they knew about it for the longest time, and then by the time that they make the move to get rid of Swalwell, now they're all acting like everything he did was just so. This all came to light, and I can't believe what this guy was up to. What a horrible person. We got to make sure that he can't walk the halls of Congress. No way.
Or be the governor. Now, we need him out because we're afraid it's going to come down to Republicans. So let's let the politics take place. Let's let everything happen the way it probably should have happened years and years ago, but now we're going to do it right now because it's timely. And that's the pattern that I'm seeing. Yeah. His sexual behavior, everybody knew. Nobody did a thing about it. Same applied to Biden. It was an open secret, too. They knew that he was mentally compromised and pretending to be president. But as long as it benefited the Democrat Party and their power structure, they were fine with it. After it wasn't, they burned him down just like they're allowing Swalwell to be burned down right now. They don't care. As long as they get to keep the power, Los. That's what it's all about.
And let's also be very honest. This was a man in Swalwell who got caught up in a honeypot scandal because he was so sexually brazen.
Dude.
He was actually having sex with a Chinese spy, allegedly, that got him removed from his committees. And that's why we all think it happened.
Yeah.
They pulled him off the intelligence committees. They're
right.
like, dude, you were having sex with a spy.
And I think this is probably just one of many people that have been compromised by the CCP. They're smart, dude. And they know how to put people in positions of compromise. They know how to blackmail you. And that's exactly, I think, what they did with Eric Swalwell. They're like, how do we get somebody, a young guy, we'll pay for him to get elected, then we're going to connect him with a Chinese honeypot, and then we'll have someone working inside the federal government on our behalf.
On our behalf.
That's what I feel like it has happened. None of that's being discussed. Only the sexual misconduct, which that should be discussed too. But I think the bigger part of this is the fact that the Chinese knew how to set him up and knew how to put him in a position to be compromised and used him the way that they want and be able to, gosh, I mean, he was on, just like you're talking about being on that committee. He had access to all kinds of things that would be wonderful news if the Chinese were able to infiltrate and get it. They were able to use that intel to better themselves, put themselves in a better position, and damage America. I don't think Eric Swalwell is the only one that the Chinese have infiltrated like that.
No, I mean, we had it, from several years ago that when you had a member of Congress whose driver was a Chinese spy.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what they do. Again, this is what we do. This is what, if you're a superpower with designs on having worldwide influence, then yeah, you have assets that you're using around the world. It's just hard for us to imagine that, hey, Dianne Feinstein, she's being driven around by a Chinese spy who's been listening to her for God knows how long.
Yeah. I expect more people. I mean, you're already seeing Tony Gonzalez step down. He's a Republican, senator from Texas, and announced that his resignation would be coming down because of a relationship with a former staffer. I don't know if that's all that he's done. Could there be something like what has happened with Eric Swalwell? Could there be something like that that's not being talked about, just like it wasn't talked about with Swalwell? I don't know the answer, but it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Oh, that one's just that one's as ugly as it gets.
Yeah.
In part because the woman decided to commit suicide and did it in a horrible fashion. That if you want to talk about calling attention to what is going on and that being very hard for you to get past, yeah, that one's really hard to get past.
Yeah, it is. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3. Adam Schiff, he's another guy that I would like to see go, and he's another guy that I don't trust as far as I can see him, and now we have even more reason to believe that he is full of BS. because he basically engineered this impeachment scandal with the call that Donald Trump made to Zelensky to ask about what was going on, a perfectly reasonable call, and they turned it into the next Russiagate. They turned it into something that it wasn't, and it was all based on hearsay, Los.
Well, and this is how dirty it got, because remember, you had, during that time period of the phone call to Ukraine, you had a whistleblower. And, well, the whistleblower needs whistleblower protection. And obviously we have whistleblower laws within the federal government that protects anonymity and protects you from being, from backlash, from being attacked. And so what the Democrats did, notably what Adam Schiff did, was make up an operation in which case they named someone who was going to be their source as a whistleblower so that they had protection. It wasn't a whistleblower.
No, it was a Democrat operative.
It was an operative. Take a listen as this ended up breaking yesterday. It's now all out in the open.
It doesn't get much more serious than that. The chairman of the House Intel Committee doesn't have declassification authority over these types of documents. They are made available to Congress under very tightly controlled rules. This has been a source of tension for years. And members of both parties have gone out of their way to assure that this material would be closely held and not weaponized. Schiff was viewed as one of the most political chairs of that committee in its history. And this is a truly chilling account, if true. Now, when I first read it, frankly, I was taken aback because it's perfectly moronic to commit such a felony with a planning conference meeting with staff. That's not usually how things are leaked in Washington, D.C. What makes this different, Will, is that this was a statement made to FBI agents. The person who made this statement was no doubt aware that lying to FBI agents is not just a crime, but a crime that was repeatedly prosecuted during prior administrations, including the Obama and Biden administrations.
Right.
So making this statement puts you at risk. That's why someone's lying here and someone's a felon.
Okay, well, let's just for a moment hypothetically take this whistleblower at their word. Let's assume for a moment that it's true, Professor. What kind of punishment follows for leaking classified information?
Well, this is a very significant punishment. You can have, in addition to having multiple counts, you can easily go 10 years in terms of sentence, if not more, depending on the circumstances and the number of violations. Each of these leaks is an individual violation. Each of these documents would likely be charged as a violation. That type of count stacking is precisely what Mueller and others did. Remember, these are very similar to the types of claims made against Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, that he removed material and improperly stored them. There were also allegations that he might have revealed them to third parties. But this is much more serious in one sense. Trump was accused of negligence in most of these counts. This would be a premeditated criminal act to release classified information to damage one's political opponent.
And that is the key right there. The leaking of classified information and then claiming whistleblower status in order to set up Donald Trump for an impeachment.
Yeah. These guys knew exactly what they're doing. And they're like, okay, and they had the plan. They laid it out. They knew exactly what they were going to do and what it was going to trigger, which was the goal. How do we impeach Donald Trump? We are impeaching somebody for doing the right thing. We're going to present it as doing the wrong thing, and we're going to impeach him. And on top of that, our whistleblower didn't even actually see it. Wasn't even on the phone call. Nope. Everybody that's heard the actual phone call between Donald Trump and Zelensky says he alludes to nothing illegal whatsoever. He is just asking questions that were completely on the up and up. And everybody who's heard that call that happened on July 25th in 2019 says the exact same thing. The whistleblower, which didn't hear the actual call, was told what was on there is what they're using as evidence to file the complaint on August the 12th.
That is, not only is it filthy, but it really points to a level of desperation to get somebody who is an outsider out of Washington.
Yep. He's a danger to our power structure. He's a danger to the entire thing, and we won't have it. And there were Republicans that stood by and did nothing that wanted him out too. That's the thing that can't
100%.
be overlooked.
100%, Tug. If we put a cherry on this conversation, that's the cherry on the conversation. That's going on to this day, whether it's the John Thunes of the world. Yeah, they're out there just waiting for him to be done.
Dude, they despise him. And I think that's why the American people like him so much. If everybody in the establishment hates him, there's got to be a reason. It's not just Democrats. It's not. It's also Republicans. And now when you see articles in The Hill, I was reading an article in The Hill yesterday, and you know what it sounded like? Tucker Carlson's monologue. They're identical. It just tells me that there is some sort of concerted effort to destroy this man, and I think that's why the American people rally around him. I really do. When we continue, we're going to cut out the NGO. We're taking out the middleman, which I think is a good idea, but I think we need to take it a step further. I'll explain next on Xtra.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, April 14th. The Atlanta Braves dropped the opening game of their 3-game series to the Miami Marlins last night. 10-4, the final. Game 2 goes down tonight from Truist Park. It'll be Ronaldo Lopez returning to the mound. He'll be opposed by Max Meyer. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and the Fan app. On the injury front, Brave starter Spencer Strider will make his first rehab start on Thursday this week. The team does plan for him to make perhaps 3 starts and bring him back early next month as he returns from an oblique injury. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guests are Francie Chapman and Dr. Dawn Atkins from Rock Bottom to Redemption. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing. Someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Matalon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
When Atlanta drivers want strength, capability, and comfort in one place, they head to Jim Ellis Buick GMC.
That's because Buick and GMC deliver everything from refined luxury to serious professional-grade performance, and Jim Ellis Buick GMC makes the buying experience quick, easy, and transparent.
Whether you're looking for a rugged GMC Sierra, a versatile Acadia, or a refined Buick Enclave, you'll find a huge selection in stock right now.
And just like every Jim Ellis dealership, you can shop your way. Start online, value your trade, schedule a test drive, even handle paperwork from home.
Or stop by and experience the no-pressure, straightforward approach Jim Ellis is known for.
Find your new Buick GMC at JimEllisBuickGMC.com or shop in person for a VIP shopping experience designed around your needs.
2 convenient locations to serve you. In Chamblee on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter, or up Highway 20 in Buford near the Mall of Georgia.
Jim Ellis Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
Hey, it's Glenn, and I have a really important update about the housing market. If you tried to sell your home in 2025, did it sell? Maybe you were convinced that it was impossible to sell, much less buy a new home. I have some news that might interest you, and I actually get to brag a bit about my own company, realestateagentsitrust.com. Last year, my company had its best year ever. Our network agents sold more homes. We helped more home buyers than any other year in our 11-year history. In fact, we surpassed $4 billion in real estate transactions since our inception. I wish I could take credit, but I'm not the reason for the success. Working with the sharpest and most competent real estate professionals all across the country and matching them with people just like you in this audience, prospective home buyers and sellers, is the key. In short, we're successful because we're good at what we do, no matter what experts have to say about the conditions of the real estate market. The name says it all. RealestateAgentsITrust.com. Go there now.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Speaking of which, I went to Walmart last night. I love the music, the odd couple there. And I sent you a picture. You're such a mashed potato guy.
Yes,
you
I
just
did
found
see that.
out the Idahoan.
Yeah.
Idahoan has got together not only with Tapatio to get hot mashed potatoes.
I can't believe it.
There's 4 different flavors, by the way.
That's unbelievable.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. I'm no fan of taxes. Don't like paying them. I understand that sometimes they're necessary. Or at least I've been convinced of that. I'm not sure that, I know I can't get out of them. Maybe that's the way I should say. I know I ain't going to get out of them. I know I'm not going to. But I am sick and tired of those tax dollars being wasted and squandered. And they are. Marco Rubio said something yesterday that caught my attention, and I was glad to see him say it. But I don't believe we're going far enough. I think this is a great first step in stopping some of the fraud that we're seeing, but we need to take it a step further. Here's what Marco said.
The United States has spent billions of dollars over the years in helping with health strategies all across the world. What we learned over time, and especially after coming here, is that oftentimes, and I'm oversimplifying it, but this is an accurate description, what would happen is we would go to a country and say, we're going to help you with our health care needs. Then we would drive over to Northern Virginia somewhere, find an NGO, one of these organizations, give them all the money, tell them, go to this country and do their health care program for them. That NGO would then take about, some percentage of that money for their overhead and administrative costs. And by the time it got down to it, the host country had very little influence. It was sort of imposed on them, and only a percentage of the overall money ever actually reached the patients and the people on the ground that we were trying to help because of these costs. This makes no sense. So why are we hiring American and international NGOs to go into other countries and run healthcare systems that are parallel and sometimes in conflict with the healthcare systems of the host country? If we're trying to help countries, help the country. Don't help the NGO to go in and find a new line of business. And so that's what the model that we're breaking. We're not doing this anymore. We are not going to spend billions of dollars funding the NGO industrial complex while close and important partners like Kenya are either have no role to play or have very little influence over how healthcare money is being spent. Bottom line is, if you want to help a country, work with that country.
I like it. That's a great first step. But then I would take it a step further. The next step is to severely reduce and maybe even eliminate the amount of money we give other countries to begin with. I'm not saying not be charitable at all. I'm saying severely limit who we actually trust. Do you think the Kenyan government is going to do a good job with your tax dollars? Because I'm not sure of that. I'm not convinced of it. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. But I'm skeptical until the moment I am proven wrong. I don't need my tax dollars going to other countries, Los. Charge me less in taxes. How about we start there?
Yeah, I like how you put it, Tug. It's a good first step. It's not the answer.
No, it's definitely not. Because our government can't get crap right. We waste money to no end. There's so much fraud in our own government. What makes me think the government, and I'm only using Kenya, I'm not picking on Kenya, I'm only using it because Marco Rubio used that as the example. What makes me think Kenya's government's any better than ours?
Yeah, at what point am I saying, who really has this thing figured out?
It's Kenya.
Kenya.
Boy, they've got it. Thumbs up to them. Get gold star of the day. They sure have it figured out. If they had it so figured out, why do they need our money?
You know who's really going to take care of this?
Kenya. Said no one ever. Americans are the most charitable people in the world, Los. We know that. We choose. And I will choose what I want to donate to. The government doesn't need to make a donation on my behalf.
Well, and Tug, here's the other end of this thing. We use money like USAID, the way that was going. What a fraudulent organization that was. But we use money for influence. And so when it comes to, hey, Kenya, you've got some mineral rights, you've got some energy we want to get a hold of. By the way, we want to make sure that you create an advantageous situation for American firms to operate there. If that means that we take care of you, and do a little bit of a work for you, a little bit of help for you, then that's what we're going to do. But I think Rubio has a really good point. Let's make sure more of the money is getting there.
It actually gets used for the influence that we're trying to garner.
And maybe at some point it requires less money in terms of taxation.
Let's us hope. Maybe we create a relationship and it's beneficial for both parties, and you don't need to buy them off.
Yeah, maybe
How about that?
Well, you might be in a situation where, let's say, for instance, let's say they find a way to send, let's say $100 million goes to Kenya, but only, let's say, 15 of it is actually finding its way into the hands of what you're trying to do. Well, what happens when we only have to send 50 and 45 does?
Yeah, right. And things are shaping up at least a little better, and the influence that you want to have is actually beneficial to the United States of America. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all about, right? We want the best situation for us in America.
That is what we are angling for.
That's what I want. And I think that's what most Americans want. You have those crazies on the left that are, that scream and holler about how America's evil. Fine. If that's what you believe, good. Go somewhere else. Just don't be here because we're so bad and evil. It's just like the Clarence Henderson, the civil rights pioneer. Why won't nobody leave?
Why is nobody getting out of here?
Well, people dying to get in, nobody's dying to get out. They sit here and they scream and holler and tell you how bad America is, and it's just the most horrible place. And yet people are still dying to get in, and nobody will leave. It's the most bass-ackwards thing I've ever seen in my whole life. It's the damnedest thing, as my grandpa used to say. I just say let's keep most of our dollars at home. Charity starts at home too, because I love what you said about you shrink down the number. If it started out at 100 million, we shrink it down to 45 million, and it gets to the people that we want it to get to. Let's charge people less in taxes, or at a minimum, if we're going to, let's use the money to help Americans. Seems like a really smart step in the right direction. Like I said, I love what Rubio said. I love the fact that they're putting the brakes on NGOs because I don't trust the majority of them, maybe any of them. I don't know one right off the top of my head that I trust. I don't. And then nonprofits. I know a handful that I trust. There's plenty of them that I don't, and I've seen operate, and I'm like, there's not a bit of them that I believe. When we come back on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. In the next hour, we're going to welcome back A.B. Hernandez. Next on the Morning Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
No hard-hitting political commentary this time. I just want to tell you about a group of people running around loose in this country without any adult supervision. These people actually believe the earth is flat. A big frisbee stationary in space surrounded by a big ice wall to keep the water from running off and covered by a dome. They call the dome the firmament. Don't believe me? Look it up. Google Flat Earth. Search YouTube Flat Earth. Or you can go to Amazon Prime and search for a 90-minute movie called Behind the Curve. They talk about the dome, but they don't answer some questions there. What if it cracks? Who repairs it? Who built it? Who keeps it clean? I mean, it's like the Truman Show, a giant planetarium. But here's the kicker. As Behind the Curve comes to an end, they run 2 experiments that absolutely disproves this flat, stationary Earth nonsense. One of them, a $20,000 laser gyroscope. Put it on the ground, the flat Earth, let it run. Every hour, it shows a shift of 15 degrees. We're not stationary. They did not pay that off by saying that 24 hours times 15 degrees equals 360 degrees or 1 rotation. Then they ran a laser experiment shooting a laser beam across many miles that was supposed to show the laser beam is flat and so is the ground over which it travels. Sorry, the laser beam shifted, showing curvature. Why am I sending you off on this wild goose chase? You have to know just how stupid some people in our country are. You have to look out for them and stay the hell out of their way. Neil Bortz, Extra 1063.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our Extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the Extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com. Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 1063 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 1063.
It's day 2 of the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Our expectation is that the Iranians are going to continue to make progress to opening the Straits of Hormuz. And if they don't, it's going to fundamentally change the negotiation that we have with them.
Vice President Vance also tells Fox after he led weekend negotiations with Iran, the ball is in their court ahead of another possible round of talks.
China is the number 1 purchaser of Iranian oil, and they want normality restored as soon as possible in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is attempting to counter Iran's effective closure of the essential trade waterway with a blockade of its own, targeting ships going to or from Iranian ports. Beijing calling this move dangerous and irresponsible, warning that the blockade will only make tensions worse.
Fox's Jonathan Savage.
At least 15 American vessels are assisting in the blockade. With a focus on Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, today Israel and Lebanon are holding direct talks in Washington, aimed at reaching a deal to disarm Hezbollah and develop peaceful relations between the two countries.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. The U.S. and Israel insist that Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire as Iran objects to the ongoing Israeli attacks targeting Hezbollah militants, leaving more than 2,000 people dead in Lebanon. 2 congressmen are leaving the House in scandal. Tony Gonzalez, a Republican who admits to an affair with a staffer who committed suicide last year. He announced his plan to resign shortly after Democrat Eric Swalwell did the same, following a report
in the San Francisco Chronicle detailing the story of an anonymous ex-staffer who claimed Swalwell sexually assaulted her while she was too intoxicated to give consent. Since that initial Chronicle report, 3 additional women also spoke to CNN with sexual misconduct allegations, including accusations that the congressman sent explicit text messages and nude photos.
Fox's Max Gordon. Swalwell says he'll fight false allegations. We just got an update on inflation showing a surge last month when the U.S. military was bombarding Iran. Producer prices rose 0.5% in February. The annual wholesale inflation rate spiked to 4%. America's listening to...
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Tired of all the negative media manipulation? Wake up feeling right with a Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Here. We're right down the road.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
From that pretty Chattahoochee River. And it's funny because as much as I love this song, I actually grew up closer to the Tennessee River. So I'm more of and I love this song. Don't get me wrong, I love Alan Jackson, love this song. But Alabama's Tennessee River actually hits me a little closer to the heart than this one because I didn't grow up going to the Chattahoochee. I grew up going to the Tennessee River. Now, if that's upsetting, I'm sorry.
I'll have it ready for next Tug Tuesday.
Thank you. Get it right, Bryce. Know which river I grew up on.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, I mean, you didn't learn a lot about living and a little about love.
No, I did not. I had to move down closer to the Chattahoochee to figure that out.
Because you're not going to be able to do that without the hooch.
Yeah, right. We weren't doing like that little kid. We weren't doing hood rat stuff, but we were doing redneck hillbilly stuff up on the Tennessee River. You know, I'm telling you, my late cousin Bradley, different cousin. Hadn't talked about him much. We grew up. He's about 4 years older than I am. He was kind of like a big brother to me. Spent so much time together my whole life. He used to take us up. This is when Laura and I first got married. My wife and I first got married, and we were hanging out with him. He had a boat, and we'd drive up to the right across the Tennessee line into Chattanooga, and we'd get on that Tennessee River with his boat, and I swear it was his goal to kill me. He would put me out there, like Laura'd get out on, behind his boat, and it would be just a fun ride on the tube. Man, as soon as I got out there,
not Tug Coward,
dude, he would. I mean, we were doing 100 miles an hour across the water, and then all of a sudden he would take a turn, and I couldn't hold on. Just the sheer G's that I was pulling, trying to hang on to that.
Sounds like a you problem more than a him problem.
No, dude, he was doing 100 miles an hour. What are you talking about? And I mean, I would skip across the water when I finally get flung off of there, which it didn't take long. I would skip across the water like somebody skipping a rock. I mean, I would just end over end. And it took a good 20 seconds for me to stop just tumbling. And he would just sit back and laugh. He just thought it was the greatest thing. He'd be like, let's do it again. I was like, let's not.
Let me dump you again. That'll be awesome.
Maybe next time you'll run into something. It'll kill you. It'll be great. We'll be on the action news. But I'd go back and do it in a minute. It was so much fun getting up there on the river. When you're growing up in Texas, y'all spend a lot of time on the river?
Lake Travis.
Yeah.
That was our spot, just about an hour north of San Antonio. And so we would have friends that have like a lake house and go out on the boat and everything else. Or predominantly because my dad had a fishing boat, we would fish a lot of the lakes rather than have like the whole fun of getting out on the inner tubes. But every now and then we would do that.
Yeah. Because growing up in San Antonio, y'all had the Riverwalk. What? Because I've never been there, and I know nothing about the Riverwalk. Is that what's that all about?
It's a tourist trap.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All it is.
It's the world of Coke.
No. Imagine a party district where each side is lined out with nothing but bars and restaurants, and you sit on the river. And for instance, like the best time, in my opinion, for the Riverwalk is either during bowl season or when the Final Four is in town.
Me and Bryce are looking back and forth at each other as you're telling me. I'm just saying, I'm ready to go to San Antonio.
I tell you, when it's like Final Four or they have one of the regionals in town and there's 4 teams, they chant at each other from across the river.
That's awesome.
It's cool during that time period.
Yeah, it sounds like a little bit like downtown Nashville to me. I mean, minus. Well, I guess you got the Cumberland River, but the setup being different a little bit. But yeah, man, I think I'd like to go to San Antonio. I think I'd like to try that.
I think you guys would probably get a kick out of it. It's like I said, it's set up to be that whole downtown area is set up to be pretty much like a party area.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Do our show 5 to 9 out there?
That's right, absolutely. Just start raising Mortal Cane. Start hollering at people. They won't even know what you're hollering about because it's not Final Four.
It won't take long. I mean, That's the one thing about down there. It's like, you want to burn through some cash, you will burn through some cash down at the Riverwalk.
You better get yourself a flask or something.
Better be ready.
Order you a Coca-Cola and spike it yourself.
That's right.
I'm not saying that you should be a redneck like that, but I am kind of saying it because a flask is much cheaper than $20 drinks.
Well, like for instance, if you go down to, and this is off the river, I always tell everybody when they're like, where should we go? The Esquire Tavern. So the Esquire Tavern, it's like old school kind of San Antonio, but it featured, and until somebody built something different, but it was the longest bar in the state of Texas.
Yeah,
I mean, this thing runs almost the entirety of the place, and it is a go hang out, grab yourself a cocktail, get yourself a little bit of food, and hang out somewhere that's not like the touristy place.
Yeah, and it's got a neon sign, which is very inviting to me.
The Esquire.
Yeah,
yes.
in neon, it's like red and green. I'm like a moth to flame with neon signs.
Neon. Oh, that's for me.
That's right. These are my people, I believe. I feel like I've run up on people that I could get along with. They probably talk my language with their neon sign. Boozy cocktails from their website. Boozy cocktails and a delectable elevated bar.
They are not kidding around with those.
Yep. Sounds good to me. This is the Morning Extra on Extra 1063, Tug and Los until 10. Let's get to the first thing to know this morning.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high, man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
I love my cousin.
Put a boot in your ass, courtesy of
I do love my cousins, yes. I absolutely do. Los, I don't know why we have to welcome some people back. Some people don't need to come back. We can just, we've had enough. We've had our fill. You know what I mean? It's like at the end of the night, you're talking about going to the Esquire or wherever, and at the end of the night, you've had your fill. I think I've had my fill of AB.
So here's what happens, and this is the moronic nature of the left. Whenever you point this out, they will always say the same thing. Well, this really only applies to a small percentage. A.B. Hernandez has been on this show for now 2 years, and whenever it does well, we point it out. Now, A.B. Hernandez is a biological male that continues to compete in volleyball and most notably in track and field in the state of California. A.B. Hernandez is someone where we have the video of its mom basically complaining to somebody who went over to a school board meeting about how this was wrong. They happen to live in an area of California where they make this stuff okay. Now, let me let you know what A.B. Hernandez did at their last meet. Senior year, its last meet. It went out and won basically in the triple jump, and also won the high jump, and was like second in the long jump. Well, here's the deal. If you compare that to the rest of the nation, A.B. Hernandez is number 2 in the nation for girls triple jump, is number 3 in the nation for girls high jump, and is number 6 in the nation in long jump. Yet, if you compared that with its male counterparts in the state of California, it wouldn't be in the top 100 in any of them.
No, of course not. That's the reason you do what that he's doing, because you can't compete. So you're like, okay, well, how do I cheat the system? How do I pretend to be something? And then that way I can be successful. Now, I'm not saying there's not mental illness involved in that, because you have to be mentally ill to come to that conclusion. But that's what it's all about. It's a mental illness. It's a sickness. Then people need freaking a whole lot of help, including AB.
And once again, well, this only applies to a certain amount of people. Yes, but this person is competing against everyone who's female in the state. This person, and I ended up, because I wanted to still dig this thing out here, this person in some world is competing against my daughter.
Yep,
now,
right.
Where does AB have their college interests? This is when you go to their Max Prep page. Nebraska, University of Texas, Cal State Long Beach, University of Oregon. Now, we do have rules in play, the NCAA basically making you have a birth certificate in order to take part in sports, male or female sports. The problem is that in many of the states, I believe it's now 34 or 36, You can alter your birth certificate.
Yeah, you just have it say what you want it to say.
To have it say what you want it to say.
Which does nothing. And it leaves those young ladies with less opportunity. It's just so weird because here's the thing, Los. They're like, oh, it's just such a small percentage. And maybe it'll always be that. But what happens if it's not? What happens if it grows? What happens if it continues to grow? What happens if more people are like, you know what? I'm not really good at this on the boys' side. Let me go compete with the girls.
Let me go compete with the girls.
And on top of that, it's not like those fellas would have to have any sort of adjustment changes. Not that would okay it, but even that is something that they don't have to do. We've heard school teachers talk about somebody coming into PE class and saying I'm a girl, and then the rest of the day they're a boy, just so they can access the girls' locker room, which is so weird. And the fact that anybody allows that is beyond me. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. But as the number continues to grow, at some point, you're going to have to just come to the realization that, okay, you're going to have to allow boys to compete with girls. That's what they want you to do. They want you to come to that point and say, well, it's just a few.
They want you to be so beaten down by it that you're.
That's like, exactly, fine. Which is exactly what I'm trying to get to. It's exactly right, and I wasn't making it clear. Thank you for saying that. It's exactly right. They want you to be beat down, and they want to call you names. They want to call you anything that they can to make you change your opinion or to scare you into changing your opinion. That you'll be beaten down and just not say a word. I saw a video of a Trans-Tifa member getting arrested in California after assaulting a dude with a trans flag. And it was there at the CIF state championship where A.B. Hernandez was competing in girls track as a man competing against those women. And as this Trans-Tifa member gets arrested, they snatch the cover, the mask that they were wearing off, and then goes into tears. Well, you're awful brave when you're swinging the flagpole at people. Now you're getting arrested. You're not as brave as you once were.
Now suddenly you're just an upset loony.
Yeah. Now you're just a freaking Looney Tune. And any of these kids that have to compete against this dude, I feel so bad for them and their families. Because I try to frame it around what would I feel if Los's daughters had to compete against this guy. How would I feel about that? And as much as I love your kids, man, I'd be ready to go fight. I'd be ready to fight over it. I'd be ready to put my foot down. I'd be ready to go speak at the school board. I'd be ready to do whatever right behind you because I know you'd be leading the charge.
It's just not.
It's not okay. That's what it's not.
It's not okay, and it's not going away in the way that you think it would. And you can call this what's happening. It's a California thing, and that's probably legitimate. That it basically is a scenario where this is one of the only places where this is continuing to go on, but it pops up in all these different areas, and the closer these people get to now being scholarship collegiate athletes is when you start to point out how ridiculous it is.
Yeah. And taking opportunity away from actual young women. I love what XXXY Athletics, Jennifer Say, their account posted, and it's AB midair, and it says AB, and under B it says OY, a boy. Should never steal opportunities from girls, which is exactly right. It's unreal.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, but did you realize that, and if there's tender ears around, please cover them up. I'm going to be go along the FCC guidelines. Did you realize there are differences in penises? I did not realize this until a transgender a man dressed up as a woman says it doesn't care if you've experienced sexual assault because those two those two body parts are completely different, masculine and feminine. Listen to this insanity.
Where after a few years of the Me Too movement, people have said things like believe all women, which is in theory not a bad idea. Believe people who are victims of oppression and like rape and sexual abuse. But that's led us to a particular situation where a lot of TERFs, a lot of transphobic feminists in Germany say, I'm a victim of sexual assault. Therefore, I can't be in a fitness studio or a sauna trauma with a trans woman who has a penis. Because a man raped me, this trans woman is somehow triggering to me. And the fact that we view that as a rational political position and not a disturbing trauma response from someone who desperately needs therapy for sexual assault is something that I think is honestly a failure of these sorts of liberal politics, where it's like, I am this, therefore you must do this, has led to this particular situation. I can understand why someone might be afraid, but I try to not make my trauma other people's problem. I don't think if a woman was raped by a lesbian, that gives her the right to say, I don't want lesbians in my space. It would be like, shut up. Like, why do you think that you experiencing something means that you get to discriminate? And I think when we allow those narratives to take hold, then they sort of embolden stereotypes. Like, I know with the trans woman, the penis thing, there's this idea that like trans women have like hairy, huge horse and stuff that are swords that they're using to kill people. The feminine penis is much different than the masculine penis. When we allow trauma to take hold of a conversation,
you can bail out there. What in the world did this insane person just say?
When I tell you that people on the left will make up terms and words to win arguments.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah, there it is. and he said, because it is a he. He said raped by a lesbian. I'm not. Can that even happen? I'm not even sure that can happen. Maybe it can. It's so confusing and so bizarre.
I'm sorry that spun your brain off into another world, Tug.
It totally did. But then to go on and say there's a difference in the body part, the masculine and the feminine, those two things are different. No, they're not different. You may not be masculine as a man. Clearly you're not. You're dressed as a woman. But your body part is still male. Has nothing to do with the way you think you are.
I wish.
Freaking bizarre.
I wish that if I had like a time machine and I could send Tug back to anywhere, I would love to send him back to like 1945, 46.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for him to have to get up in front of some sort of group, congregation, town hall meeting, and explain to those who just won World War II what life is like in your country now.
Dude. Or what life is like in 2026.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you have to explain.
Yeah.
So
dude,
let me tell you what's now happening, guys.
Here's what's going to happen.
Hi, I'm
Here's
Tug.
what you
I'm
fought for.
Yeah. Holy cow, dude. They would be so blown away. They wouldn't even be able to understand the words coming. They would think that I was just talking nonsense and I needed to go to a mental health facility. That's what they would think. And nothing has changed. That's still the case.
They'd be looking at you like, so let me get this straight.
Mm-hmm.
You now have a society where men pretend to be women. And if you happen to call it out, then they've made up a word that makes it sound like you're the worst kind of person in the world.
It's you. You're crazy.
Yes. They've created words to explain their hurt feelings that is you can walk into any office in America and if they said this about you, you'd be like, well, I might lose my job.
Dude, it's unbelievable. I don't know. I see right off the top of my head. Let me just do a quick search. 407,316 American servicemen died during World War II. Can you imagine trying to explain? You're saying that we all died so y'all can act like fools?
So they could act
like fools, yes.
I would just be pointing out, here's the level of comfort that is in this country that you helped create.
Yep.
That this is now what we get all up in arms about.
Dude, it's unbelievable. When I heard that dude saying there's a difference in the masculine and the feminine penis, I physically just stopped listening. I was like, okay, this is the dumbest. This may be the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. Let me play it for everybody else so they get dumber too. Yeah, it's like Billy Madison. We're all dumber for having heard what you said.
Yeah. Listen, if I have to sit through it, you have to sit through it too.
That's right. Absolutely. I've been traumatized by this. Now you need to be traumatized by it. When we come back, I want to play Ro Khanna just getting destroyed on illegal immigration, but not by a politician, by a woman who's just had enough. Next on Extra.
1063 is getting ready for the 2026 midterms. And on the ballot, it's freedom versus communism. The choice is clear, and your vote matters more than ever. The future of our community and our country hangs in the balance, and the conservative voice of Atlanta will continue to fight the good fight right up to the election. Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
Golf fans, listen up. April 24th through 26th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic presented by Venture takes over TPC Sugarloaf, and they're playing in modified Stableford. Birdies score big, eagles score bigger. Pars, not enough. It rewards aggressive play, so these PGA Tour champions legends have to attack and make it happen. More risk, more birdies, more excitement. Get your tickets now at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. That's MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. April 24th through 26th at TPC Sugarloaf.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.
When I first started using a CPAP, getting supplies and equipment was a horrible hassle. It pretty much stayed that way until I discovered CPAPsetcetera.com. Same-day shipping on anything you might need, including travel CPAPs, hoses, masks, you name it. Same-day shipping. CPAPsetc.com or visit their store in Alpharetta. So easy, and you could be preserving your health and saving your life.
You've worked hard to build your investments, but are they positioned the right way from a tax perspective? Because it's not just what you make, it's what you keep. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Many investors don't realize that their portfolios may be creating unnecessary tax exposure. Capital gains, required minimum distributions, inefficient account placement can quietly reduce your returns, especially as you approach retirement. At Nicholas Wealth Management, we help clients evaluate whether their investments are structured in a tax-efficient way, looking beyond performance to understand how taxes impact income today and your legacy tomorrow. Are your assets in the right accounts? Are there opportunities to reduce further tax liability? Is your strategy aligned with your long-term retirement goals? Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 678-990-8500. Schedule a complimentary review. That's 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you keep more of what you've worked so hard to build.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Pay to play, sweetheart deals, government land grabs, and a rigged gambling law. Corrupt career politician Burt Jones made a fortune in public office. But it gets worse. Now Jones is in the tank for illegal Chinese vapes. They're poisonous, they're addicting our kids, and President Trump issued a national order to ban them. But just like a career politician, Burt Jones ignored Trump's order and blocked legislation to stop the sale of illegal Chinese vape pens in Georgia. That's right, Jones ignored Trump and blocked the legislation to ban them right here in Georgia. Why? Because the Jones family is making big bucks selling the same deadly addictive Chinese vapes Trump banned in their gas stations. Corrupt career politician Burt Jones. He sold out Georgia for Chinese vapes.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, April 14th, and here are your headlines. Eric Swalwell says he will step down from Congress after facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, including claims from several women detailed in recent reports. He says he wanted to avoid distractions from his duties as a bipartisan push to remove him from office was already gaining heavy momentum. A global phishing operation tied to more than $20 million in attempted fraud has been dismantled in a joint investigation involving the FBI and international partners. Officials say the scheme used a tool known as Well to create fake login pages, stealing credentials and bypassing security systems, with more than 25,000 compromised accounts being sold. And finally, unseasonably hot weather is expected to continue across metro Atlanta this week, with temperatures possibly hitting in the 90s. Well above the seasonal average of 73 degrees, forecasters are saying that several daily records could be broken, with dry conditions also raising concerns about worsening droughts across the region. Today's weather is lots of sunshine with a high of 87 and a low of 58. The Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 1063. Country call out to Carl, who's listening in today. Appreciate Carl taking the time to reach out and listen to the show, be a part of the show. Always welcome here on Extra 106.3, and you can reach out to us at Extra 106.3 across social media platforms, at Tug Cowart, at Front Office Los, so it's easy to get us and find us that way. I want you to hear Rokana just get torched. I mean, this is so good, and it's about a little less than 2 minutes, but I want you to hear it because it stood out to me. I was so impressed by this woman from Brooklyn who is just dragging this dude about illegal immigration. And dude doesn't have a single answer for her.
As a regular, everyday American citizen, I feel that I am more likely to be harmed by democratic policies such as open borders. Because
I'm
in your
for
state,
secure borders.
Okay, but in your state, something like 4,600 or so illegal migrants that had criminal records were re-released from jail. So when we're talking about harming Americans, when we're talking about children potentially being harmed, when we're looking into child trafficking, we have to acknowledge that illegal migration is the biggest funnel for child trafficking. So when we're worried about Epstein with a couple of people, and you guys turn a blind eye to tens of thousands of children being harmed by your policies. That's a problem.
We have been for a secure border, but here's what I want.
No one in California can say that they're for a secure border.
Well, that's a policy I've been pushing for. But let me say this. Instead of having ICE raids in places like Minneapolis killing Americans, like Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and doing raids on undocumented folks here who may be paying taxes and having a restaurant, how about we have the focus on the border to stop the terrorists or to stop the gangs or to stop sex trafficking?
So if you're worried about sex trafficking, why is your focus on rich people who are committing significantly less sex trafficking crimes? Not saying that they're innocent, but your anger towards this seems very skewed and very hypocritical.
My anger towards them is because they feel like they're above the law, that they
and
use
so do
their
these migrants that get right back out of jail when you guys let them out.
But I am not.
They are above the law. They are at a tier that gets to walk free whenever they want.
I believe that if you've committed a violent crime or a terrible crime in this country, you should face deportation.
But you guys don't do it. You believe it, but you let these people go.
Obama had a record of having secured the border, and there were a lot of criminals who were deported. What I don't agree with is what ICE is doing, putting terror in communities. I mean, let me ask you this.
I feel comfortable with ICE around. I'm not a criminal illegal immigrant, so I feel very comfortable. I'm not terrorized by them, and I'm from New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Okay. If there's an undocumented an immigrant here, right? Came across without their papers, and they opened a restaurant. And they've been
Why? Why are they allowed to do that? Why are they taking that?
And she just continues to skewer this dude.
What a crazy hypothetical. Well, if they do this and they open up a restaurant, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a legitimate question. Yeah. How does someone who is not here legally able to obtain a business license
to open up a restaurant
in a community?
Yeah, right. And she went on to say, well, what
They're
about...
already breaking the law. You think they're going to be better in their restaurant?
Yeah, right. And she went on to say that why are we giving them the opportunity to open a restaurant when that's taking business away from American-owned restaurant? But she had an answer for everything. This is a young black woman from Brooklyn, I believe she said, and she handled this with such ease. And loudmouth Ro Khanna's back on his heels. She's better than any reporter I've seen in the mainstream media by far. She's in there asking the tough questions. He's not getting those questions on CBS.
No.
He's not getting those questions on ABC, NBC, or any of the other CNN. But I love when she was like, you said you're in favor of securing the border, but you didn't. And that's exactly right. He kept talking about how he wanted to secure the border. Why didn't you talk about it more under the Biden administration? Now you're talking about it when it's done, when it's completed by the new administration who campaigned on doing it. Why did he have to campaign on doing it? Because your party wouldn't. And that's what she's pointing out.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you have politicians that are used to it. They are used to being in a forum in which case they can set the premise and then answer the premise. Every time he attempted to set the premise, she was like, nope.
Yeah,
you don't get to make up a scenario by which you get to then argue that you have a point. It's rejecting the premise outright. Now, had he not tried to set the premise and actually just answered the questions, well, that's when it's going to be the most difficult for him. Oftentimes you will have, as I've said before, liberals will create words and discussions and premises and hypotheticals in order to win arguments. He actually was going to create the scenario, well, what happens if you're an illegal and you open up a business? Oh, I don't know. What happens if you're an illegal and you happen to create, you cured cancer? Okay, that's the crazy scenario by which he was going to validate what he said.
Yeah, he was going to make the leap. And it doesn't matter because you had the numbers of illegals and the amount of crime that is committed under them, with them here in the United States. And what was it, like 64% of the crimes?
In 2024, the number that's tracked, and again, there's some nuance to the number, but out of the 20,000 murders, there is a link of 64% of them were linked to illegal immigrants. Now, again, if we talk about that number coming down and let's say they only committed 40%. Well, that's 40% of the homicides in 2024.
Which is a gigantic number. Let's get that fixed. That's what that woman wants to see. She wants to see that fixed. And I think that's what most Americans want to see. They want to see it fixed. They're so tired of being taken advantage of. And it's become so obvious that the Democrats are not going to deport anybody because he went back. Ro Khanna talked about, well, people with violent criminal past should be deported. Why aren't they?
Well,
why didn't you do it? Why doesn't your party comply to that? Why don't they at least operate under the premise of, yes, if you committed murder, you're out of here. If you've committed armed robbery, you're out of here. They don't even do that. They defend those people just as hard. So don't give me that you're all in favor of people that are violent being out of here because I know better. I've seen what y'all do.
The frustrating part for Americans, and this is what you have to kind of wrap your head around and go, okay, that is intentional. You know it's intentional, but you don't know exactly why at times. You wonder, why do people continue to let these people be on the street, the ones that cause the amount of problems? And you might accept the narrative that, well, it's social justice and this system is broken, or there's no accountability for these judges and they're all woke. All right, how about when you create a scenario in which there's so much crime, your only answer is to turn to government?
Yeah.
That only helps government.
That's exactly right. And
that's why they do it.
And government fumbles everything.
Some social justice.
Sometimes intentionally.
It's not being fair.
No.
It's not like, he grew up disadvantaged. No, the more havoc you have on the streets, the faster the people will demand that you change the system. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Get ready if Trump were and the Republicans were to lose the midterms, which is definitely possible. I mean, history shows that the party in power in the midterms usually loses some of that power. So what do you expect the Democrats are going to do? Los, it's going to be more of the same. When John Fetterman says our party is ruled, we don't have an actual ruler in the party, like a leader. At the top, we have TDS. That's what guides us. That's what you'll get in the midterms if the Democrats win, too.
Yeah, what are your plans? Well, Representative Jayapal decided to let us know what their plans are. Tell me if this sounds any different than what we saw from, let's say, 2017 to 2021. Take a listen.
Do you support using the 25th Amendment? Obviously, J.D. Vance is not the guy to do it. This cabinet is not going to do it. But your colleague, Ro Khanna, who I spoke to earlier this week, was talking about the need for a moral position and moral conviction in taking that position as opposed to just realistically whether or not it would happen.
Oh, absolutely. I said that a week ago, that we should invoke the 25th Amendment. As you point out, that is something that, unfortunately, by the process we have, and there was actually a bill that was introduced, I think it was last session, by Jamie Raskin to change that process, by the way, should we ever get control of the House back. But right now, invoking the 25th Amendment requires the vice president and then requires him to get a majority of the cabinet. And so I have taken the position that we need to do whatever we can to get him out. Impeach him, invoke the 25th Amendment, push for him to resign, whatever it is.
All right. So more of the same, more of what we're entirely used to.
Yep.
But I think what also is really interesting is that as she brings up the 25th Amendment, first off, you're never going to have if there was ever a moment for the 25th Amendment, it was Joe Biden.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they didn't do anything. Then they knew it. It was the open secret that we talked about earlier.
They had to threaten him. Hey, it's time for you to you're going to remain president, but it's time for you to not seek re-election. Otherwise, we're going to 25th Amendment your ass out of there. That was the threat from Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them. My friend. That's my friend. Yeah. That's what they did. Now, you're never going to get a cabinet or a vice president, because they know how crazy these people are, to go along with this. But the fact that they continue to talk about it as if they want to try and change some congressional rules, some congressional laws, the Constitution, good luck with that. But that's how much they're trying to push this into, how do we get rid of this person?
Do you remember yesterday we talked about this a little bit in that Axios article, when all the Democrats off the record would say, and Axios is a leftist outlet, it's not like they're trying to prop up Democrats that don't go along with the cause, because they would rather them, march in line. But even the Democrats that they talked to said this is a fool's errand. Only reason anybody is even talking about it is because they want to appear like they're aggressive against Donald Trump to appease the base. That's exactly what they said yesterday. That's exactly what it was in the Axios article. None of them believe it will actually work, but they're afraid they'll be voted out by their constituents if they don't seem combative enough to the president.
And what we have said in the past continues to be true. If there was ever a scenario where anything like that happened, now you have the most conservative president moving in to that seat since Ronald Reagan and J.D. Vance.
They have no idea what they're up against.
Like, that's why it's all just fool's gold. It's all just silliness. It's all fundraising. You want to talk about what the next 4 years could look like as we get into 2028? That's going to be the great Satan for them, will be an actual conservative sitting in that seat.
Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. I guess we're going to thank Logan Paul for this one.
Yes, sir.
Is that even more than Angel Face? I mean, I feel like she has been talking about some of these things.
Not like this one. I'll tell you the background story on why we all owe Logan Paul a debt of gratitude.
Next on Extra.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Toro. Is your lawn starting to get ahead of you? Well, take a look outside. It's warm out. It's very yellow. Things are starting to bloom. Things are taking off. Take it back with the power and precision of a Toro mower. From small yards to wide open properties, Toro delivers a clean, professional cut that makes your lawn stand out and stand out fast. Ready to upgrade your mowing game? Find your Toro mower today at Howard Brothers, your local source for quality equipment and expert advice. Toro and Howard Brothers, the power to cut it right and the people to back it up.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, April 14th. The Atlanta Braves dropped the opening game of their 3-game series to the Miami Marlins last night. 10-4, the final. Game 2 goes down tonight from Truist Park. It'll be Ronaldo Lopez returning to the mound. He'll be opposed by Max Meyer. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and the Fan app. On the injury front, Brave starter Spencer Strider will make his first rehab start on Thursday this week. The team does plan for him to make perhaps 3 starts and bring him back early next month as he returns from an oblique injury. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
The best time to shop for a new car is when selection is strong and the offer is clear. Right now at Marietta Toyota, the new 2026 Toyota Camry is all hybrid and in stock. It's built for commuters with exceptional fuel efficiency, up to 53 miles per gallon in the city. Voted Best of Cop, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Dealership Service Center. Here's the difference you don't get everywhere. Every new Toyota comes with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. For well-qualified buyers, special APR financing is available on the new 2026 Camry, 4.99% APR for 72 months. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 72 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Offer ends May 4th, 2026. Lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for details.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape, and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. The legacy of Joe Biden lives. His open border policy let millions of illegal criminals stream into our country. We continue to have customers visit the showroom and report that they have been victims of break-ins and lost their hard-earned and irreplaceable items. So don't be a victim. Drive by the Safe House showroom and see what real security looks like. Picture yourself placing your valuables in a Fort Knox safe. Now that's real protection for your priceless valuables. Drop by the showroom or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
I want to tell you a story about a man named Phineas, who was a child. He survived the Holocaust because Christians hid him from the Nazis. They risked everything to save his life. Today, Phineas is now in his 80s, and he can no longer stand on his own or leave his home to receive medical care. And when the sirens sound and the missiles fall, he doesn't have time or strength to reach safety. But once again, Christians are there helping save his life. Through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to his home, providing care he wouldn't receive, especially in wartime. Christians saved my life during the Holocaust, Phineas says, and now once again, here they are helping me. As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, we honor survivors like Phineas, not just with words, but with action. Give $45 right now to rush life-saving essentials to the vulnerable under fire. Call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-IFCJ. Or go online at ifcj.org. ifcj.org.
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
Keisha Bong Bottoms. Well, let's remember, she let the Wendy's burn because she didn't want to cause any more problems. She wanted to save the brothers from getting, shot by the cops, so she was more concerned concerned about the criminals burning down the freaking Wendy's and then accusing the cops of doing anything other than trying to protect the public.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
I got to be honest with you, I don't know that much about Logan Paul. I don't know that much about him. I know that he's kind of he's a celebrity of some sort.
WWE superstar.
Exactly. Okay. He's WWE. Hadn't he done some Ultimate Fighting too?
Just boxing.
Just boxing. Okay. All right. So if you're
you can't just do both. You'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well,
you got to be really legit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it. WWE. Yes, they're very athletic. Yes, their skill is sharp and they're very talented people. But the outcome is determined. We already know that. I'm not calling it fake. I'm just saying that it's scripted. Okay, we know that.
What are you saying?
I'm telling you, the outcome is determined. We know that. I know it's hard to believe, and people have a hard time with it, and there will be somebody that's going to be mad at me.
You just
still real to me, dude.
You just ruined a little kid's day in the car.
Well, look, if their daddy ain't already told them, shame on their daddy. You know, I mean, you can like.
I'm here to ruin your day.
No, just be honest. Hey, son, these guys are really talented. They work really hard. They put a lot into their fitness. They're very acrobatic. They're very athletic. But when they get into the squared circle, as they call it, it's performative, and it's a cool athletic performance. But we know when they walk in who walks out with their hand raised, unlike, say, Ultimate Fighting or boxing, for that matter. That's all I'm saying. I feel like I'm out here on a limb by myself.
No, it's okay. It's like you're ruining stuff.
Well,
for people, but that's fine.
I think most people know this. I don't think this is a.
But sometimes you just want to keep up the illusion.
I know, but this was 40 years ago. I didn't know it 40 years ago, right? And I was watching Ric Flair. Whoa! Watching him get in the squared circle versus the Mac and Dream Dusty Rhodes. Dude, I thought it was great. I thought really that the outcome was determined by who was in the ring. Turns out there was a script. They knew what was going on.
Just lie to yourself, Tug.
My heart was broken. Logan Paul, though, he's done something that apparently no one else has done, and Los wants to give him full credit for it.
All right, Tug. So let me just tell you the story about this. So there was always known as this legendary Chuck Clark UFO footage.
Okay.
This goes back 30-some years. And what it was two men that were driving. They were out in the desert, and something appears over their car. And they panic. Like, it's, again, just like they freaked out. Their car gets enveloped by light. They're freaking out, and this story ends up kind of proliferating for a while. Now, to kind of fill in some of the back stuff on this, you then had James Cox, and he's one of the guys. Remember when I made you watch that video or that movie, that documentary of what had gone on in that crash in Brazil?
Oh, yes, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, First Encounter or whatever it was.
That. Yep.
Okay.
Fascinating.
So he had seen this video 30-some years ago, and it's all been talked about, like, well, Chuck Clark won't show it to anybody. He's not going to sell it. He's keeping it to himself. Well, Logan Paul heard about all of this when he was on a Joe Rogan podcast or listening to one of them. And he offered Chuck Clark, he tracked him down, and he offered him $100,000 to, hey, I want the tape. And Clark basically told him no. Well, Paul then secretly recorded the footage off of Clark's TV screen with a button camera that he had on him.
Okay.
Which he admitted, hey, it was kind of low down to do that.
Probably owe this man some money.
Yeah, but he felt like that Clark was keeping something away from the rest of the planet. As of yesterday, the video's out.
Oh, I'm looking at it now.
And yes, it's very grainy. It's done on a button cam. But Chuck Clark has shown it to James Fox, the director. He's also shown it to Bob Lazar, somebody else who has a documentary about him, about his work at S4 and working on alien spacecraft and all the stuff that the government then said, like, no, we don't know Bob Lazar. And then people are like, yeah, of course you know Bob Lazar. He worked here. Both of them who had seen the movie before, the video, were like, that's it. Like, that's what
the one
it
I've
looks
seen
like.
this before.
Yeah. And so it's just fun that as today, we now hit the day that Paulina Luna has asked for the Secretary of War and the Department of War to give up the 46 videos that they have on this stuff. Mm-hmm. And today's the day. So we'll see if all this comes down a little bit later. Maybe some creepy stuff that, as we've been told by Tim Burchett and some other people, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah,
this doesn't look human.
Yeah, make you scared to go to sleep at night.
Makes you wonder, what is that?
Yeah.
But at least now one of the things of UFO lore is now finally out there.
I'm just looking at this, and I can't tell what I'm looking at. That's the problem. You know what I mean? What like
it starts with a dashboard on the car.
Oh, so okay, all right. So
as
that's
it
what that
moves up,
Yep.
you then see this.
I got this
some
orb.
sort of metallic item that is sitting over them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know, Los. I'm still. I mean, I'm not saying it's nothing, but I don't know what it is either. You know what I mean? And I never feel like I know what it is. And there's that little bit of me that don't want to know. Yes, I've told you.
Yes.
Let's just be blissfully ignorant to it all.
I just wanted to take the last few minutes of the show just to say, hey, today might be the day, Tug. We got this stuff out there today. And let's also face it, too. The reason why I believe Logan Paul now has this thing out there because he's been sitting on it for a while. And the reason why Chuck Clark never wanted it out there is he didn't want to profiteer off of this thing.
Sure.
But I think Logan Paul believes there's more stuff that's going to be coming out, so you might as well get your stuff out there now.
Yeah, let's get ahead of it. Let's get some attention and eyeballs on this in case something else comes. I see what you mean. Do you expect anything will actually come out? Do you think there's going to be some earth-shattering, groundbreaking release today, or ever, for that matter? Because I'm not convinced, even if we do know something, that'll ever be released as they're saying that they want to do.
No.
Me either. Okay, so but at least we're in agreement there.
But doesn't it feel fun to think, hey, maybe today's the day I win the lottery?
Yeah, right. I mean, there was a whole ad campaign. Maybe today would be the day, right?
Maybe today is the day where I win the lot. Now, I've seen whenever they've released other stuff and went, ooh, that's creepy. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe today is the day where I get a little more of that.
Yeah, could be. You're absolutely right. Absolutely could be. I'll be on the lookout for it. I'll be watching Tim Burchett and watching Anna Paulina Luna and seeing what they say or if they say anything and see where we go from there. I don't know, man. When I look at this video, and I know it's grainy and I know it's old and I know it just looks like an 80s video game. Does it look that way to you at all? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you gotta think about the situation. It's 30 years ago.
Sure.
35 years ago.
Technology completely different now than it was then.
And you're in the dead of night.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know all that. I know all that, and I'm trying to take that into consideration. But when I look at it, I mean, it looks like Space Invaders. I mean, it looks like I need a A/B button.
Well, there you go.
It looks like I know. Well, I know, but it looks like I need an A/B button.
Then you have experience with this. Then
that's right. We used to have Space Invaders standing out there right next to the massage chair here at Dickey Broadcasting Company. They took it away. The devils.
Yeah, the other aliens took it away from us.
That's exactly right. Those rotten, no good for nothing, low down people took our Space Invaders. Took Los's favorite game, Galaga.
I was sitting there destroying everybody. Galaga
took my favorite Burger Time, which is a knockoff. I mean, like that's how low rent I was as a kid. We didn't have Donkey Kong. We had the knockoff. We had Burger Time. But we'll see. Hopefully something breaks, and I want to see you come in with a huge smile on your face.
Huge smile. We'll see what we get,
and that way
hopefully
you can be like, "I told you so," and I can't wait to be like, "Wow, you sure did."
The day it happens, I'll come in dressed as an alien.
Okay.
I'm just going to be waiting for that moment where, you look at me and you just go, so what else do I need to know?
Yeah, what else am I way behind on?
What else do I need to know?
And dude, there's a list. There's quite a list. And it ain't just with space and aliens and UFOs. I mean, there's all kinds of things I'm behind on. So I'll take help from anybody if I can get it. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Thank you, Logan Paul. We appreciate you for being a conniving cheat for this poor man's video.
Thank you for being very underhanded.
That's right, dirty low down, but helpful in the end too, I suppose. That'll do it for us. Beck is up next, then Clay and Buck and the local afternoon show with the one and only Kimmer.
Oh my God!
I was like in unison. I love it. That'll do it for us. For Los and Bryce, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Morning Extra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and The Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about them. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with them every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru